frugal man, and...
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, this is George Reed.
Well, nice to hear from you, George. Especially when I have no assignment.
That's fine.
What's fine about it? No expense account to pad means how do I keep the wolf from the door? Unless, of course, Floyd's of England has the case for me. Huh? Well?
Johnny.
Yeah?
Well, a few weeks ago, you were kidding at the time.
Oh, now, George, how could I ever kid you?
I'll let that one go.
Yeah, you better.
The point is, you rather jestingly asked me if instead of selling life insurance...
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
I'm afraid so. I'm afraid the company is saddled with what you might call a death insurance policy.
You mean instead of insuring somebody against dying, you've insured him against living?
Yes, John.
Okay, Georgie. Say no more. I'll be right over.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Act one of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Floyd's of England, American Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Hope to Die matter. Expense account item 1, $1.10 taxi from my apartment to George Reed's office, where I found him pacing the floor and wearing an even more worried expression than usual. And believe me, that's something.
This thing has me so riled up, Johnny, I can hardly see straight.
Well, you should have known better than to issue a policy like that, George.
It was Harry Baxter.
Baxter?
He filled in here for me while I was on vacation. I should have known better.
What'd he do? Sell a lot of policies that you shouldn't have to handle?
No, just this one. And I swear I don't understand it. He, of all people.
All right, you said on the phone that it was kind of life insurance in reverse.
That's exactly what it is.
Explain, please.
Well, usually, of course, we pay the face value of a policy when the insured dies.
Right.
In this case, however, the company will have to pay the $250,000 that the insured doesn't die.
$250,000?
Yes.
How under the sun could a man be crazy enough to issue a policy like that?
John, you know how it is. The company prides itself on the fact we'll insure anything. Not only life and property and health and so on, but the voice of a singer, the feet of a dancer, hands of a pianist, even the dimples on the knees of a chorus girl.
Yeah, and singing mice, an old alley cat, a sick whale.
Of course, I can't say that Harry wasn't in position to do it, but... Johnny, you've got to help me.
First, you better tell me who and why and what it's all about.
That's just the trouble. I don't know.
Well, in that case... You don't know?
I only got back here to the office this morning. I found our copy of the policy lying here on my desk.
But if you don't even... Oh, look, I've handled some pretty screwy cases for you, George.
Yes, but they've all finally made sense one way or the other. And, Johnny, we have paid you some very nice fees. You can't deny that.
George.
Tell me, have I ever questioned your expense accounts?
But death insurance, it doesn't make sense.
Have I?
Insuring somebody against living.
Have I?
I'm sorry, but this time the answer is no.
Listen, if you take this on, I'll okay your expense account without even reading it.
Death insurance.
Expense account unlimited. Johnny?
George, there are some things even a conniving, chiseling, unprincipled rascal like myself won't even...
Unlimited? Johnny?
Okay, George, I'll take it.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. And now Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Hope to Die matter.
Floyd's of England insure anything. At least that was their boast. And now it looked as though it had finally backfired on them. Because somebody in the organization, some character named Harry Baxter, had issued not life, but death insurance. If it hadn't been for my friendship for George Reed, well, plus his promise of unlimited expense account, I'd have thrown the whole problem right back into his face, as it was.
Thanks, Johnny, from the bottom of my heart. I'll never forget you for this.
Believe me, George, I'll never forget you for this.
And if you can get us off the hook...
All I can do is try, so come on, give me the dope on it.
Yes. Now, here. The name of the insured is Miss Mary Ellen Markham.
Yeah, I got it. Where does she live?
514 East 52nd Street, New York City.
Pretty fancy address.
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me why this Mary Ellen has insured herself against living.
Well, that's the point, Johnny. She hasn't.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Albert Schwinner has.
You mean somebody else took out this policy on her life? Or rather death?
Yes.
Holy. Well, what is this guy, a professional gunsel who's going to wipe her out and then collect? I suppose he's the beneficiary, too.
Yes, he is.
Oh, fine. Well, come on, who is it?
I don't know. As I told you, the policy was lying here on my desk when I got back this morning. I do know this much about him. It's Dr. Albert Schwinner.
Doctor? What kind?
Well, those are the things you've got to find out. Who he is, what he is, why he's bought insurance against this woman's living beyond November 10th.
The 10th? Well, that's only a few days from now. Oh, George, this gets worse and worse.
Oh, if only Harry Baxter hadn't issued that policy.
But he has. Oh, boy, you sure picked a dilly to fill in for you while you were away.
Picked him? Well, what else could I do? After all, he never did anything like this before.
You've known him before?
Are you serious? Of course I have. Why, Harry Baxter...
All right, now look, time's a-wasting and we haven't got much of it. I take it you want me to see if I can find some legal grounds for canceling this policy.
Yes, immediately.
Now, have you got an address on the beneficiary, this Dr. Schwinner?
No, I've been so upset about this whole thing, I haven't even looked. Here, let me see. According to this, he lives at...
What's the matter?
Dr. Albert W. Schwinner, C.L.
C.L.? What kind of a doctor is that?
I don't know. The address is 14327 E Street, Union City, New Jersey.
C.L. Well, I'll soon find out. Where can I reach this Harry Baxter who sold the policy?
In New York at the... here, I'll jot down the address.
I still don't see how Baxter could get away with this.
After all, when you consider his position... Here.
He offered no explanation at all.
Well, I'm afraid I didn't give him much chance. I practically threw him out of here.
Oh, can't say that I blame you.
And that's another thing. Look, Johnny, perhaps you can reason with...
Oh, don't worry, George. He's number one on my calling list. I'll be talking to you. Expense account item 2, $785, fare to New York and taxi to Harry Baxter's address. A real snooty one over near Sutton Place. And people don't live in that joint unless they've earned or chiseled a lot of money from somewhere. In the case of Baxter, I suspected a big chisel. My suspicion was considerably heightened when he opened the door. His apartment was luxury from stem to stern. As for Baxter himself...
Dollar? Well, of course, old boy. I've heard a great deal about you from my dear friend and colleague, George Reed.
Dear friend, huh?
Well, you say that as though you doubted it. Oh, I know, that filling in for him while he was away. Well, I really should have done better for the old thing, but I've had so many social obligations to meet these past few months, and after all, one must keep up with those things.
Oh, I'm sure one must.
Well, I did sell one policy, you know, a real dilly.
Oh, that's the understatement of the week.
I suppose I can't really blame him for being a bit excited about it, but he gave me no chance to explain why I issued the policy.
Why did you?
Oh, now, really?
Well?
Well, I made it very clear to George that I would tell him when he calms down enough to be reasonable. Really, Mr. Dollar, he was in quite a tizzy.
Brother, he still is. That's why he sent for me.
But when he calms down, he'll be sorry he bothered you.
Suppose you tell me why you issued that policy.
You? No.
What?
No, I'll tell George when he's ready and when I'm ready.
Oh, now, just a minute.
And you may tell George I said exactly that. Goodbye, Dollar.
You'll tell me, Baxter, right now.
I'll do nothing of the sort. And what's more, since my plane for Europe is leaving shortly, I have no time to... Would you kindly remove your foot from the door?
Not until I get an answer from you. Now start talking.
If you can show some legal cause...
Legal cause?
Furthermore, your behavior at the moment constitutes trespass, illegal entry, call it what you like. And believe me, unless you leave here immediately, I shan't hesitate to ring up the police.
All right. Now look, just tell me one thing.
I might.
What? What is your connection with the beneficiary of this policy?
Dr. Schwinner.
That's right, Albert Schwinner.
But Albert happens to be a very close personal friend.
Oh, I might have guessed as much. All right, then tell me this.
No, I'm sorry, just one question. I've given the answer. Goodbye.
Baxter.
Are you hard of hearing?
Look here now.
Goodbye.
Well, there was no point in trying to batter down the door of Harry Baxter's apartment, so I left. Downstairs in the lobby, I put in a phone call. That's item 355 cents to George Reed's office in Hartford.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dollar, but he seems to have stepped out for a few minutes.
Oh, well, then please tell him when he gets back that I want a complete rundown on Harry Baxter.
Well, that shouldn't be difficult.
Right. Having hired him, George shouldn't have much trouble getting that for me.
Well, that isn't what I meant, Mr. Dollar. As a matter of fact, I think I can tell you just
Now,
about
let George do it. I'll call him back. Item 4, 65-cents taxi to Mary Ellen Markham's apartment on East 52nd Street. A uniformed nurse met me at the door, told me I could stay with Miss Markham only a very short time, then led me into the bedroom. And there, carefully propped up in bed, lay a pale, wan, tired woman who looked to be 65 or 70. The room was full of flowers.
You may leave us, Mrs. Haskell. I'll ring when I need you.
Yes, Miss Markham.
Sit down, Mr. Dollar.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I won't be able to speak with you very long. But as you can see...
Yes, I can, of course. I'll get right to the point. You must know, I'm sure, that someone has just taken out a policy on your... Well, an insurance policy on you.
Yes. It was so smart. And so helpful with Harry Baxter.
Oh.
You see, I am suffering from a rare, incurable disease of the blood.
I'm sorry.
I don't have long to live. A few days, perhaps. A few weeks at the most. Excuse me. This is such an effort.
Well, you're getting the best of care, I trust.
Yes. It's the very best. Now, what do you wish to know?
You know a Dr. Albert Schwinner, don't you?
I've known Albert for many years. We've been great friends.
Then why does he take out a policy that indicates he hopes that you'll die?
Hopes? I'll die?
Yes. What else could it be?
Oh, you don't understand.
Don't you see? Schwinner has bought insurance against your living beyond November 10th.
Yes. Yes. My 50th birthday.
You mean to say you're...
The reason so.
Yes?
I'm sorry. You mustn't.
Oh, I know. I'm tiring you.
Yes.
But just one more thing. Your doctor, the doctor who's taking care of you.
Albert.
Albert? This same Dr. Schwinner?
Yes. Now you must leave.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. Now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Hope to Die matter.
The little that Mary Ellen Markham had been able to tell me left me more puzzled than ever. I've never been given such a runaround of my life, deliberate or otherwise. But I didn't dare tax her strength further, so I left. Item 5, another 55 cents for another call to George Reed in Hartford. This time he was in.
Yes, Johnny, I must confess I'm calmed down a bit, but the first shock of learning that Mr. Baxter had issued that seemingly absurd policy...
What do you mean, seemingly absurd? George's whole thing has me in a tizzy now, a double-barreled one.
Well, I tried to call Mr. Baxter a few minutes ago, but got no answer. I wanted to apologize, of course.
Apologize?
After all, since he's chairman of the board...
Chairman of what board?
The company, this company.
What?
I tried to tell you that this morning, but you didn't give me a chance. Harry Baxter is also the majority stockholder.
Oh, brother.
In any event, as I'm sure you can see, he must have had some good reason for that policy, and as soon as I can get him by phone...
You won't.
What?
He just left for Europe.
Where?
I don't know, and right now I don't care.
But if I can't contact him, Johnny, I don't dare cancel this policy until I've talked to him. And if Miss Markham should die before the 10th...
Yeah, 250 G's.
You've got to carry on.
Would you like to tell me how? If Mary Ellen Markham dies on or before November 10th, Floyd's of England pays Dr. Albert Schwinner $250,000 on a policy taken out by him. And he is her doctor with her life in his hands. And if there isn't something wrong with that setup... Expense account item 6, $8 for a taxi to Schwinner's address in Union City, New Jersey. And there at last I learned what the CL meant behind his name. It was an abbreviation, for this was the Albert Schwinner Clinic, devoted to the study of rare diseases of the blood. But Schwinner wasn't there. He'd gone to New York to see Miss Markham. Item 7, $10 even for a fast taxi ride back there to Manhattan. As the nurse led me into the unfortunate woman's apartment, he was just coming out of the bedroom door.
Oh, Dr. Schwinner, this is Mr. Johnny Dollar.
Oh, Mr. Dollar, Harry Baxter told me I might expect you.
Oh, he did, huh?
Yes, he phoned me just before his plane took off for Europe.
Pretty smart.
You're an insurance investigator, aren't you?
That is right.
Oh, you may go in to see Miss Markham now, Mrs. Haskell.
Very well, Doctor.
How is Miss Markham, Doctor?
Much better, thank God.
Oh, why do you say that?
What?
If she dies before this week is out, you stand to collect a cool $250,000, don't you?
I? No, the clinic.
Isn't that the same thing?
Hardly. Sit down, Mr. Dollar. Now, you're concerned about the rather unorthodox insurance policy that Mr. Baxter issued.
I certainly am.
I think you better let me tell you the reason for it.
I think you'd better.
At the onset of her illness some 15 years ago, the best doctors in the country gave her 5 years to live at the most.
And that's when you came into the picture?
Yes. Because of the devotion, the concentration of all our efforts to this one field of medicine, the clinic was able for the first time to give her hope. Her hope was justified. We have given her years of life.
But now, wait a minute, Doctor.
She told us then that if she could be helped to live until she was 50...
And that'll be on the 10th?
Yes. That would prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that our methods, our practices were right. That we could prolong and possibly ultimately save not only her own, but thousands, perhaps millions of lives. Therefore, she agreed that if she reached 50, she would make an outright gift of $250,000 to the clinic and its work. Money which is much needed, by the way.
But then it began to look as though she might never reach 50.
Yes. And she suggested this unusual insurance policy on her death rather than on her life.
I see. But why Harry Baxter, chairman of the board of the insurance company, its biggest stockholder, whatever? I don't get it.
Baxter's own mother died of the same disease, Mr. Dollar.
Oh. Of course. Then he knew how necessary this money is to the clinic.
Yes. And let's face it, Baxter is something of an eccentric.
And that's the reason he chose this offbeat way to make sure you get the financial help you need.
Exactly.
Then, if I try to get this policy canceled...
A great many lives in the future may depend on its remaining in force. Of course, if you feel it your duty...
Doctor, my duty as I see it is to do just exactly nothing. Mary Ellen Markham did live to see 50, but only for a few days. Just long enough to make her gift to the clinic. Harry Baxter and the company? Well, Harry came back from Europe, and he said he found some, quote, mistake, unquote, in the policy that requires the company to pay off on it anyway. Eccentric? We should have more of them like that. Expense account total? Are you kidding? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Deposits program. From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Paul Brennan, Inter-Allied Insurance Company, Johnny.
Oh, hi, Paul. How's the world doing by you?
Oh, I got troubles.
Oh, like what?
Like Albert W. Winkler.
Winkler? Who's he?
Maybe you mean who was he?
Well, which is it?
Well, that's the trouble, Johnny. We don't know.
Huh?
Well, he's disappeared, and with him a hunk of emerald worth exactly 100,000 clams.
Wow.
Well?
Sure.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Inter-Allied Insurance Company, Dawson Building, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Blooming Blossom matter. Expense account item 1, $1 even. Taxi from my apartment to the offices of Inter-Allied, where Paul Brennan wasted no time in getting to the point.
Albert Winkler was a partner in a small jewelry firm down in New York. Real exclusive type place.
Fluid and Winkler?
Yeah, that's the outfit. Well, a few days ago, they got hold of an emerald. It's called the Green Eye of Calcutta. And, Johnny, the darn thing's big enough to choke a horse.
Okay, Paul, okay. I don't think you need go any further.
No, wait. They planned to put it on an exhibition at the big international jewelry show in Chicago next month, and Winkler took it home to work on it.
Oof. Insured for 100,000, you said.
Yeah, and Winkler's insured for 10.
Okay, so who killed him and stole the rock?
Listen, will you?
Go ahead.
Well, Sunday morning, his partner Blewett tried to phone him at his apartment. No answer. So Blewett sauntered down to the office thinking he might be there.
But no sign of him?
Right. Nor of the Green Eye of Calcutta. Only a note Winkler had left the night before saying he was taking the stone home to work on it.
Well, that makes it look as though maybe Winkler...
Listen. About that time, the phone rang there in the office. It was the police department, also looking for Winkler.
Oh?
Yeah, they'd been called by Winkler's landlord after a chambermaid had found his apartment completely ransacked and the old boy missing.
Uh-oh. Who's working on it? For the NYPD, I mean.
Sergeant Randy Singer, 18th Precinct, homicide. Old friend of yours, I believe.
Yeah, good man. Has he come up with anything?
Nothing. Well, Johnny?
Sure, Paul.
Now?
Now. Item 2, another $1 for a taxi back to my apartment where I slicked the stubble off my face, showered, dressed, and was about to head for New York when the phone rang. Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar?
That's right.
Oh, good.
Well, who's that?
Oh, yes, of course, Mr. Dollar.
Huh?
I must talk with you, sir. It's important, very important.
Well, who are you?
Me? Well, this is Wilbert Kenworthy Blossom. Yes, and I must see you right away.
Well, what's this all about, Mr. Blossom, did you say?
Oh, why, that's right. How did you know that?
Oh, is this some kind of a gag?
Certainly is not. And to think that now I'll be working with you on a... Oh, it's wonderful, just wonderful.
What are you talking about?
Why, you, don't you see? I follow every single one of your cases, sir. Either in the newspapers or on the radio. Oh, I'm your biggest fan.
Is that all you called to say, Mr. Blossom?
It is not. I'm calling about the mysterious disappearance of Mr. Albert Winkler.
Winkler? You know something about him, his whereabouts?
I certainly do.
Where are you, Mr. Blossom?
Here at my house in New York, and I'll be waiting for you, sir. Goodbye.
No, wait. Give me your address.
Oh, yes, of course. How could you know where to come if I hadn't given you that?
Yeah.
That was silly of me. Well, goodbye.
The address, man, the address.
Oh, of course. Yeah. It's 825 East 73rd Street.
Item 3, $9.20, transportation and incidentals to New York City and 825 East 73rd Street. It turned out to be one of New York's famous old brownstone houses, well preserved and reeking of an era long past, when the city's wealthy and elite had built row on row of these monuments to a now forgotten financial aristocracy.
Oh, come in, Mr. Dollar. Come in. I'm Wilbert Kenworthy Blossom, and I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to be working with you on this.
I don't know how to describe it, but I'll try. The inside of Blossom's home was unbelievable. Ornate pre-Victorian furnishings, heavy velvet draperies, huge lamps and chandeliers, gilt-framed mirrors, even an ancient horsehair sofa. It was also filled with dusty piles of newspapers and magazines, hundreds of old books.
Travel books, Mr. Dollar, and mysteries. Oh, I just love mysteries.
One corner of the high-ceilinged living room was piled with old trunks and handbags, an old carpet bag even. Boxes of tools and utensils were stacked about, an ancient Victrola, beat-up sewing machine.
You just never know when you might want to sew something, do you?
Old guns and pistols, some of them museum pieces. A stringless tennis racket. A pair of rusty handcuffs locked to the base of a floor lamp without a shade. A broken bicycle pump.
That's just in case I ever find a bicycle to go with it, you understand. Yes.
Against one wall stood an old metal cabinet loaded with rusty surgical instruments and a worn-out catcher's mitt. Yet directly opposite was a corner shelf full of priceless porcelain figurines and rare pieces of china. Some of the old clocks and jewelry on the mantelpiece were collector's items. Fine original oil paintings lay among piles of old shoes. All in all, it looked as though the contents of half a dozen pawn shops had been dumped into it.
At auction sales, Mr. Dollar. Oh, yes, sir. I just cannot resist an auction sale or a bargain.
But what are you going to do with all this stuff?
Oh, just keep it. I like it. I like a lot of things.
Yeah, so I see. Including 12 gross of Spence's superlative steel-tip shoelaces, patented 1841.
But they were a bargain, Mr. Dollar. Just like all this fine artwork is, too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Some of my friends pamper me a bit, though. You know, send me things they pick up at sale.
Yeah, now look, Mr. Blossom, you told me you know something about Albert W. Winkler.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed.
Well?
And think of that magnificent emerald. Gone. Disappeared.
Yeah, but now you said...
And that poor Intralite Insurance Company. Oh, my. That's how I knew you would be called on this case. But $100,000 and $10,000 on Mr. Winkler.
Well, at least they're off the hook on him until he's proved dead.
Aha. And that's where I come in. With proof.
Proof? What proof? Have you seen Winkler?
Mr. Dollar, I have.
Well, where is he?
You understand, of course, that I know Mr. Winkler very well because I've seen him at his office so many times.
Yeah, okay, go on.
Oh,
go on.
Yes, indeed. Such beautiful, beautiful jewelry he had there. And, of course, he was always trying to buy some of the things I had.
But you say you've seen him where?
Well, Saturday I'd planned with a couple of old friends to attend a railroad auction. That was the Canyon City and Metropolitan Railroad.
Winkler was there at the auction sale?
Well, yes.
Did you speak to him?
Oh, no.
Well, why not? You said you knew him.
Oh, I didn't go to the auction. I wasn't feeling very well that day. I had a little cough. It was kind of like that.
Then how do you know he was there?
My friends went, and at least they talked about going.
Mr. Blossom.
And I'm sure they did, too, because they sent me something from... And what do you suppose it was?
I don't know. I don't care. Now, look here. You got me to...
It was the very thing that has solved this whole case for you.
What?
And think of it. This dull, drab, dreary life of mine has suddenly become... Why, it's almost like a mystery story, isn't it? Adventure and...
Look, Mr. Blossom,
think of it. I'm being a detective. I'm working with my idol, the famous Johnny Dollar. Oh, George.
Mr. Blossom, what did they send you?
What's that? Oh, yes, of course. Here it is, sir. It's right here between the erector set and the golf clubs.
This old trunk?
That's right.
Oh, great Scott, you think you do.
But at first, of course, I thought of calling the police. But knowing all about you...
Mr. Blossom, let me see that. Excuse me.
There are a lot of crumpled newspapers on top.
Yeah, I see. As old as the trunk. Good Lord.
It isn't pretty, is it?
Sergeant Randy Singer, homicide. Randy, Johnny Dollar, get somebody over to 825 East 73rd Street right away, will you? Body of Albert Winkler. Randy got there in a matter of minutes, got the same story from Blossom that I had, then called for the lab crew to come and take over.
Now, who delivered this trunk, Mr. Blossom?
Well, it was just a delivery man.
Can you describe him? Would you know him if you saw him?
Yeah, well, he was big and strong. He was very strong.
Distinguishing features, scars or a limp or a beard or something?
Well, I told you, Johnny, he was big and strong.
How old?
Well, I would say he was somewhere between 25 and,
Yeah?
50. Yes, I'm sure.
Well, that's a lot of help.
Yeah, you better have those thick spectacles changed.
But he was big.
Yes, we know, and strong. What about his truck?
Oh, I didn't see that. He left it outside.
No.
Now, look. These friends of yours who did attend the auction, who were they?
Oh, yes. Now the investigation proceeds. Now the excitement.
Who were they, Mr. Blossom?
Well, there's Randolph Harrison and Percival.
Randy Singer took down the names of Blossom's 3 auction-minded friends. The lab crew arrived. Randy took off to dig up Blossom's friends, and I took a cab. That's item 480 cents. To the apartment of Elwood Blewett, Winkler's partner in the jewelry business. Blewett lived alone in a modest but tastefully furnished 5 or 6 rooms on East 52nd Street.
Of course, Mr. Dollar. I'll be glad to help you all I can. Albert's death has been a terrible blow.
Yes. Well, tell me this, please.
Yes?
Did Mr. Winkler make a habit of taking valuable pieces of jewelry to his residence?
Yes, Albert often took pieces home with him to work on them, clean, polish, and so on.
Wasn't that a rather dangerous practice?
Frankly, I always thought so, but he felt there was far more chance of being robbed if he were alone at the office than at his flat, where he wouldn't be expected to have anything of great value.
Well, who has seen the Green Eye of Calcutta besides you and Mr. Winkler?
I'm not sure. Of course, almost anyone would have been able to recognize it.
Because of the publicity and pictures when you brought it over here?
Yes.
Come to think of it, Blossom indicated he'd been much impressed with it.
Wilbert Blossom?
Yeah. You know him?
He's been in the office many times. He and Albert were always bickering over pieces that either of us
Bickering?
had. Well, it was really something of a joke. Albert always wanted some of Blossom's heirloom pieces, and Blossom wanted some of the finer things we had.
Did he ever buy?
Never. He always wanted us to put them up at auction or at a bargain price. Hardly our way of doing things, needless to say.
When did you last see Blossom?
Why, last Friday. I was busy with an important client, and from the back room where Albert worked, I remember hearing Blossom insist that Albert show him the emerald.
What did he?
I don't know. The silly argument got so noisy that I closed the door on them. Oh, now wait. Certainly you aren't thinking that perhaps Wilbert Blossom...
I'm not quite certain what I'm thinking, Mr. Blewett. Item 5, 10 cents, phone call to Randy Singer.
No, not a thing, Johnny. One of the 3 names on Blossom's list is in Europe. The other 2 did go to the railroad auction, but purchased nothing.
Randy, do a couple of things for me, will you?
Like what?
Phone whoever is stationed at Winkler's place that I want to look it over.
Sure, everything is just as it was, including the poker that was used to kill him.
Also, I want a copy of the picture of the trunk your lab boys took and the list of Blossom's friends.
I'll have them waiting for you.
And post a man at Blossom's place. Keep an eye on him. Yes, right away.
Johnny, have you learned something that...
No, just, just for his protection, say. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, but...
Blossom. Yeah, Blossom. Maybe I hadn't given enough thought to the strange little character. Or to why the trunk with Winkler's body had been at his place. But if he were involved, why call me in? Cover up? Possibility. But Wilbert Blossom kill a man? Yeah, maybe he could. Maybe he did. I'd better see him as soon as I get through with the inspection of Winkler's apartment.
Mr. Dollar?
Oh, hi, officer. Did Sergeant Singer call and tell you that...
He's on the phone here in the Winkler apartment now. Wants to talk to you. Says it's very urgent, sir.
Okay, thanks. Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, how did you know?
Huh?
The man I sent to cover Blossom's house for you got there too late.
What?
Whoever got in and attacked the poor old coot got away.
Attacked? Blossom?
Yeah, really did a job on him. Johnny?
Okay, Randy. Thanks.
Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment.
Democracy. As everyone knows, democracy means many things. Self-rule of the people, a higher standard of living, freedom of speech, press and religion, rights and privileges, liberty. But the most vital promise of democracy is mankind's right to dignity. For it is through the dignity of man that democracy has given mankind its greatest legacy of freedom.
Now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Blooming Blossom Matter.
Expense account item 6, $2.25 for a fast taxi ride to 18th Precinct Police Headquarters.
All right. As soon as I got your call, Johnny, I sent a uniformed man over to Blossom's house. From the way you talked, I thought maybe you suspected him.
Yeah, Randy, I'm afraid I did.
Boy, how wrong can you be? Anyhow, when he got there, he found the front door open and Blossom lying in the dark hallway.
Where's Blossom now?
The hospital, but he's okay, just bruised up a bit. They're letting him out.
Fingerprints? Anything to go on?
The lab's checking on the prints right now.
Uh-huh. Let me know.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope. So, now let's find out who tried to put Blossom out of the way, and we'll have the guy who killed Winkler. And stole the $100,000 worth of emerald, then shipped Winkler's body to Blossom. Oh, and by the way, here's the picture of the trunk you asked for and the 3 names Blossom gave me. Harrison, Norton, and Scatterday. What are you going to do with them?
Randy, suppose the man who attacked Blossom is the one who did all the rest.
You got a better suppose?
Well, look, Randy, whoever wielded that poker on Winkler couldn't have been very strong. A really hefty wallop would have bent it out of shape.
And the lab agrees with you. But, of course, it didn't take much of a blow to finish off old Winkler. He didn't weigh much over 100 pounds, you know.
Yeah.
Any strong arm could have finished him off easily and without messing up the whole apartment.
And don't forget, whoever did him in also put him in the trunk and delivered it to Blossom's house. But why?
Yeah. Yeah, and where's the emerald? That's what you should be worried about. $100,000 worth of worry for your insurance company. Now, what are you going to do with that picture of the trunk and the list of Blossom's friends?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll see you later. Item 7, $5.50 for a taxi to the warehouse of the Canyon City and Metropolitan Railroad over in Jersey. There I finally managed to track down a man who knew something about their occasional auction sales of unclaimed baggage and stuff.
Insurance investigator, eh?
That's right, Mr. McKinney.
One of those boys with a fancy expense account, eh?
Well, that's a matter of opinion. Look, you had an auction sale here last Saturday, didn't you?
That's right, handled it myself. Want to know something about something we sold off?
Exactly.
Then I'm your man. Always remember all about every single item I sell and who bought it and all about them.
That's fine, because I want to know if any of the names on this list bought from you on Saturday.
Yeah?
Randolph Harrison. Man by the name of Harrison buy anything?
Nope.
How about Percival Wentworth Scatterday?
Nope.
Ellsworth Norton?
Nope.
You sure, Mr. McKinney?
I'm sure.
How about Blossom?
That a man's name?
Yes, Wilbert Blossom. Well?
No, sir. Nope, never heard of him. And like I told you, I never forget the stuff I sell or the fellows I sell it to.
Wait. This picture of a trunk.
Huh?
Have you ever seen this trunk?
Well, yes.
Did you sell this trunk on Saturday?
Yes, I did.
To whom? Come on, man, it's important.
Well, I was real early in the sale. Yeah, before most of the people got here. Bought this trunk and had it sent to his apartment in New York.
And his name?
Well, it was a funny kind of name. Blinky or Winky or...
Oh, no.
Winkler. Winkler. That was it. Albert Winkler.
Item 8, $2, 2 drinks for myself at the nearest bar. But they didn't help to kill my feeling of utter frustration. Item 9, $5.50 taxi back to 18th Precinct headquarters in New York for want of a better place to go.
Oh, it's about time you got here, Johnny.
Oh?
We matched up the prints we found after Blossom was attacked.
You know who made them?
Yeah, here's his card.
Carlo Bernasconi. Any reckon?
Couple of dozen arrests, only one conviction.
Anything to do with jewelry?
Better. Accessory to a hijack operation a couple of years ago. He drove the truck.
Hey.
Sure.
Got a mugshot of him?
We got him. Downstairs. Come on, I'll take you down.
Randy, what's he look like?
Like you'd expect the truck driver to look. Big husky brute.
Has he admitted anything?
Well, the threat of a murder charge made him talk all right, but none of it makes any sense.
Of course it doesn't.
But he's our boy, all right. He killed Winkler, beat up Blossom.
I thought your lab decided whoever killed Winkler was a small fella.
Yeah,
So the theory about the same man killing Winkler and beating up Blossom doesn't work.
But, Johnny, holy... Come on down. Let's talk to this Bernasconi.
After I make a phone call.
Huh? Who to?
Yeah?
Get me a man named McKinney, Canyon City and Metropolitan Railroad warehouse over in Jersey. Make it fast, please.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you been over there, Johnny?
Just before I got here.
Did you find out anything?
No, but I'm going to now.
Like what?
Randy, for the first time, this whole thing is beginning to make sense.
Here's your party.
Mr. McKinney?
That's me.
This is Johnny Dollar, remember?
Sure do.
Good.
And say,
Now-
I've been reading in the paper since you left here about that body found in the trunk over there in New York.
Yeah, well, look.
Is that the same trunk you was over here asking about?
Yes. Now, you told me that trunk was bought by a man who gave his name as Winkler.
That's right.
Do you remember what he looked like?
Sure do. Why, I can give it to you as accurate as if it was in the police files.
Well,
Height, 5'9", maybe 9.5.
go on.
Weight, between 155 and 58. You see, when I was young, I worked with a carny show guessing weight and height, and if I didn't guess it right...
Yeah, okay. Now, how about the color of the eyes?
Well, I noticed them because of the way he squinted through them thick, old-fashioned steel glasses.
Thanks, Mac. I'm sending you a 10 spot on the next mail.
Well, now.
Well, Johnny?
Come on, Randy. Let's go down and see this Bernasconi.
You find something out new?
Yeah, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Now, look, Bernasconi, you're in plenty of trouble for the assault on Blossom. Maybe even more. But I'm the man who can save you from a murder rap, if you'll answer a couple of questions.
Sure. I told the cops.
All right. Did you pick up and deliver a trunk yesterday morning?
Sure, I told him. For a guy named Winkler.
You got the trunk from Winkler?
Sure, at his apartment on East...
What did he look like? How tall?
Maybe 5'8" or 10.
What? Johnny...
Slight build or heavy or what?
I'd say about medium. Maybe 150 pounds.
Johnny...
Now, look, mister.
Now, wait a minute, you look. Did you deliver that trunk to a man named Blossom?
Sure, at 825 East 73rd Street.
What did he look like?
Him I never seen.
I knew it.
He hollered from a window that the door was open and I should put the trunk in the living room. What a junk house.
But you must have seen him later when you came back and assaulted him.
It was night then. When he come to the door, I just slugged him and let him lay there. Then I went inside where the lights was on to look for... Well, look for the big rock I'd read about in the paper. But then I heard a prowl car coming, so I beat it. Trunk wasn't there anyway.
Okay, Bernasconi. See you later, Randy.
Now, just a minute.
Hey, and what about me? You said it...
Item 10, 90 cents, taxi to Wilbert Blossom's old brownstone house on East 73rd.
Come in, Johnny.
Thanks, Mr. Blossom. All recovered from your beating?
Oh, of course I am. Here, sit down.
You said you wanted to help me on this case.
Oh, yes, indeed. Why, this chance to work with a man I consider the finest insurance investigator in the world.
Yeah.
That's why I called you when I got the trunk with Mr. Winkler's body in it.
Mr. Blossom, why don't you tell the truth?
All my drab, dull life, I wanted to be a detective, an investigator. And this was my chance. My chance... Tell the truth, did you say?
Mr. Blossom, listen to some facts for a minute and see what conclusions you draw from them.
Oh, deductions. Like a detective.
To begin with, this house of yours is so full of, well, junk.
I told you, Johnny, I like things.
But it also has a lot of fine paintings, sculpture, china, jewelry.
Oh, I like all sorts of things, especially if they're fine and rare. And bargains.
Like the Green Eye of Calcutta?
Oh, the most beautiful emerald in the world.
And I would conclude that you'd do just about anything to have that stone.
Yes, sir, Johnny. I'd reach the same conclusion.
Okay. Now, when Albert Winkler and the emerald disappeared, it was in the papers that Inter Allied had written policies on them. Conclusion?
Yes, sir. I would deduce that you would be called in.
Wouldn't it be smart, then, if the killer was afraid I'd eventually get around to him anyway? Wouldn't it be smart for him to call me in and offer to help me? As a cover-up for what he'd done?
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Or at least he'd think it would. Oh, yes, I guess he thought it would.
Another thing, Mr. Blossom.
Oh? What is it, Johnny?
The body was packed in the trunk with old newspapers. Like these you keep piled around.
Oh, why, yes. And I would deduce...
So obvious that both Randy Singer and I overlooked them completely.
Oh, well, there's so many things piled around here. You couldn't be expected to... Johnny.
Yeah?
What really made you decide that... Well, I'd like to know.
All right. Albert Winkler was a frail little old man, about 4'11", not much over 100 pounds.
Yes, he was.
But the man who bought the trunk and had it sent to Winkler's apartment, who gave his name as Winkler, that man was about 5'9", 155 pounds. And he wore thick, old-fashioned steel-rimmed glasses.
But, Johnny, I can't see without them.
Then there's the truck driver. The man who ordered the trunk delivered to this house gave his name as Winkler, too. But Winkler was dead by then. Dead from a blow inflicted not by some big bruiser, but by somebody of, say, your build.
Oh, that awful truck driver who thought the emerald would be in the trunk and came here to steal it and who beat me up. I suppose you want the emerald.
Yeah.
Here, Johnny, I kept it in this old coffee pot that I picked up at an auction sale. Real bargain, too. Oh, isn't it a beautiful stone? Oh, if only Mr. Winkler would have sold it to me. At a bargain, that is. Then none of this would have happened. Well, I guess we better go now, hadn't we? It's such a silly thing. Me trying to act like a detective. I guess I didn't even make a very good killer. Did I?
Why? Just this overpowering passion to have things? Maybe. Or maybe it was just a reaction. A last desperate attempt to some way, any way, break from a lifetime of lonely, dull, drab idleness. I don't know. But for some crazy reason, I feel sorry for the funny little old character who turned killer. Expense account total, including incidentals and fare back to Hartford, $61.55. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, a case so simple, so easy, so obvious, that it proves almost impossible to solve. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood. It is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone, who also wrote tonight's story. Heard in our cast were Howard McNear, Herb Ellis, Herb Vigran, Junius Matthews, Herb Butterfield, Frank Gersel, and Johnny Jacobs. Musical supervision is by Jerry Goldsmith. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Dan Cubberly speaking.
Johnny Dollar has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Ted Orloff here.
Orloff, Los Angeles?
That's right. Tri-Western Indemnity Company.
Well, hi, Ted.
Look, are you free to come out here in a hurry?
What's up?
A wayward truck.
A wayward?
That's right, truck.
Lost, strayed, or stolen?
That's what I hope you can find out. It's a big one. Insured for nearly $20,000.
That is a big one.
And aboard it when it disappeared was the driver.
Insured?
For $10,000. And a cargo of copper tubing worth $9,500. Also insured.
Holy. Ted, I'll grab the next plane.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Tri-Western Indemnity Company, Los Angeles office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the wayward truck matter. Expense account item 1, $194.65, airfare and incidentals, Hartford to Los Angeles, California. When my plane set down at the international airport shortly after 9 a.m., Ted Orloff was waiting for me. He led me on out to the parking lot.
Here we are, Johnny. This car right here.
All right.
Go on, hop in.
Okay. You reserve a hotel room for me in town, Ted?
Huh? Why?
Well, after all, I've been sitting up on a plane all night and wouldn't mind a chance to shower and slick the whiskers off my pussy. Change clothes.
Don't want to take the time. That's why I'm glad you could make it out here right away. See, this thing only happened Wednesday night.
Well, just what did happen and who suffered the loss? And how about stopping somewhere so I can grab some breakfast, huh?
Sure. Find a place along the way. Like I told you, Johnny, a truck loaded with $9,500 worth of copper tubing has disappeared.
What kind of tubing?
The kind they use a lot of in building airplanes, that sort of thing.
Go on.
It was shipped from Marlowe Copper Products over in East Los Angeles. That's where we're heading. Marlowe is a big jobber, distributor.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, late Wednesday night, a driver by the name of Jackie McAllen was scheduled to haul this order of tubing over to the Belden Aircraft Corporation over in Victorville. That's about 100 miles east of here, out in the desert.
Yeah, I know. So?
Well, the truckers usually drive that route at night, not only because of lighter traffic, but to avoid the heat during the daytime.
Brother, you can say that again.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, right after midnight Wednesday, 12:05 to be exact, Jackie signed out of the Marlowe warehouse with his load of copper tubing. Yesterday morning, Friday, Belden Aircraft was screaming for it, wanting to know why it hadn't been delivered as promised.
Just disappeared?
Just disappeared. Hijacked, obviously.
And the driver? Any word of him?
Nothing.
Well, what kind of a market is there for stuff like that out here?
Plenty of market for it. Not only because it's expensive, but it's hard to get, too. Especially for some of the new little companies that have sprung up around Palmdale and Lancaster, out that way.
Yeah, didn't Lockheed just build a plant out there?
Lockheed, Belden, a lot of the big ones. And they subcontract work to the little boys. That's why nearly $10,000 worth of copper tubing would be worth its weight in gold to those little plants.
Well, then it's a wonder there isn't more of this kind of hijacking, if that's what it is. What do you know about the driver of that truck?
Jackie McAllen is as honest as the day is long.
Yeah, who says?
His employer, and he should know. Jackie's been driving for Marlowe Copper Products for years. They trust that boy with a load of pure gold.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Yeah. Man might have some trouble selling off a load of pure gold.
Huh?
But if what you say is true about the demand for copper tubing in this area...
Oh, now, wait a minute.
Well, every man's supposed to have his price, you know, Ted.
Look, Johnny, I see what you're driving at, all right, but not Jackie McAllen.
You sure? 10,000 is a lot of money.
Wouldn't be worth 10,000 sold undercover.
Jackie would certainly know where to sell it, though, wouldn't he?
Johnny.
And why hasn't he showed up?
I'll tell you why. Because he's probably been killed.
Item 2, $1.75, breakfast for me and a cup of coffee for Ted Orloff on the way into Marlowe Copper Products in East Los Angeles. I was amazed at the way this industrial area has grown in the past few years. The Marlowe operation turned out to consist of a small office and a couple of warehouses. Marlowe himself was a tall, lean man of about 50, very much on the ball.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dollar. It's as simple as that. Now, Willie here is the night watchman.
How do, sir?
Hi, Willie.
According to Willie's clock in the shipping order in the manifest, Jackie McAllen signed his load out at exactly 12:05. And that's the last we've seen of either of them.
He took off alone with a load worth $10,000?
$9,500, yes.
Well, isn't that taking quite a chance?
Well, he's done it many times.
Mr. Marlowe, how much does this Jackie earn a week?
Well, that would depend. Anywhere from 100 and... Oh, now, wait a minute. If you're thinking what I think you are, you're wrong, Dollar. You're dead wrong.
Just as I said, Johnny.
Sure, why, I'd trust Jackie with my own life. And believe me, whoever's done him in, well, he's going to have to deal with me. I'll see him hang.
Well, what makes you so sure he's been done in?
Well, it's the only thing that could have happened to make him give up a shipment of goods. A hijacker'd have to kill him. And whoever did this to Jackie...
Tell me, do you think there's any possibility of his having been approached beforehand by hijackers? Perhaps threatened into turning the shipment over to them?
No, not a chance. He would have told me of anything like that immediately.
If he had time, maybe. Who's working on the case now, Mr. Marlowe?
The L.A. Police Department and the Sheriff's Department of every county in Southern California.
Are all your trucks like those two I see out the window there?
Jackie's was. We got 4 of those big singles. Did have. Now it's 3. And 3 big tractor-trailer rigs.
Mm-hmm. A truck like one of those is a pretty big hunk of stuff to just disappear. Willie.
Yes, sir.
Were you on duty Wednesday?
Yes, sir, I was.
Did you notice anything unusual about Jackie that night?
Why, no, sir. Not that I noticed.
He came to pick up his truck alone, huh?
I didn't see nobody else with him.
Well, did he look worried, anything like that?
Well, not that I could see, no, sir.
And he didn't say anything that might have indicated things weren't as they should be?
Not that I heard, no, sir.
Just exactly what did he do?
What the driver always does. Come in, signed up the manifest, putting down the time, and then drove off with his truck like always.
Nothing unusual at all?
Not that I saw, no, sir.
Mr. Marlowe, where did Jackie live?
Somewhere over on West 3rd Street. He lived alone. Naturally, the police looked for him there first thing.
May I have that address, please?
I'll have my secretary get it for you.
You all through with me, boss?
Yes, Willie. If you're going to work tonight, you better get some sleep. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And believe me, nothing's going to happen to anything this time.
If I were you, Mr. Marlowe, I think I'd have more than that for a night watchman in a place like this.
Just what were you thinking of, Mr. Dollar? Jackie's address, I mean.
Look, if the police and sheriff's offices haven't been able to turn up anything, well, in spite of what you said, there's always the possibility of collusion in a case like this.
Between Jackie and whoever stole that truck? Oh, no, sir.
There's always the possibility, voluntary or otherwise, if Jackie was in with the hijackers, even against his will.
I wouldn't believe it.
But it's a possibility, whether you want to believe it or not. For one thing, how would the hijackers know when and how the shipment was to be made?
From any one of a number of sources. The man who supervised the loading here, for instance.
Who?
Red Kingsley, or almost anybody in the place, or just as easily anyone over at Belton Aviation in Victorville.
Belton would know exact time of departure from this warehouse?
Well, no.
Close timing in a hijack operation is usually pretty important.
But they knew the stuff was due at their plant early Friday morning. They've been hollering for it ever since.
I'll lay my money on the tip-off coming from this end. Now, has the route between here and Victorville been thoroughly gone over?
By the police.
And they found no sign of either the truck or this fellow Jack?
That's right. The truck, of course, could be disguised, new coat of paint, that sort of thing, often done.
But no body, alive or otherwise?
No. So how do you plan to proceed?
Well, if Jackie was forced to participate...
And I'm sure he wasn't.
Then I don't know. Let me have that address, huh? Frankly, I didn't have the least idea what I was looking for. But I couldn't just stand around, so I borrowed a company car with a name and a number plastered all over the side and drove to the West 3rd Street address, hoping I'd have no trouble persuading the manager to let me in. Manager? Not in that old ramshackle frame house. The front door was wide open, and the mailbox had the number 4 opposite Jackie's name. I went upstairs. As I reached the second floor, I could see that the door of number 4 was slightly ajar, and I could hear somebody moving about inside, opening closets and drawers. Quietly, I slipped close to the door. Inside, his back toward me, was a big, broad-shouldered brute, hastily emptying one of the bureau drawers. He was dressed in dirty work pants and wore a heavy, tattered blue sweater.
Hey, what?
Maybe you better let me ask the questions, huh?
Oh, yeah? Now, look, buddy.
What are you doing here? What are you putting into those handbags?
None of your business. Now, you get out of here.
Not until I find out what you're up to.
I said get out, didn't you hear me?
Oh, take it easy.
Oh, yeah?
You want to play that way, huh?
That's right.
Brother, that was a big mistake.
Oh, you asked for it.
No, you don't. All right. Now, start talking. What were you doing here in Jackie's room?
What was I doing here? Hey, look. Who do you think you are, the law or something?
barging in here like this?
That's right. Who are you? I said, who are you?
I'm Big McCallion.
What?
That's right. Jackie McCallion.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Our flag now numbers 50 stars, and behind each star there stands yet another flag representing one of the 50 states. New Jersey's flag was created at the direction of George Washington. In 1779, General Washington directed that the New Jersey Continental regiments wear coats of dark blue with buff-colored facing. This was done as a tribute to the former ruler of these colonies, the Dutch, whose national colors were buff and blue. Later, he instructed that the field on the flag of New Jersey should be the same buff color, and the state coat of arms in blue be placed upon it. The state's motto, reflecting the aspirations of all who came to these shores, is also inscribed on the flag: liberty and prosperity. This flag was displayed proudly before the combined American and French armies at the surrender of Cornwallis's army at Yorktown. New Jersey's state flag, the flag of the third state to enter the Union, was adopted on March 26, 1896.
Now, Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Wayward Truck Matter. Missing. A $20,000 truck from the Marlowe Copper Products Company of East Los Angeles. Also missing. Its cargo of copper tubing insured for $9,500. Also missing, also insured, the driver, one Jackie McCallion. And when I found a big, ugly-looking character going through Jackie's furnished room, I jumped him. And who does it turn out to be? That's right, Jackie McCallion.
Boy, I'll say this, buddy. You're sure handy with your dukes for a skinny guy. Hey, who are you, anyway?
Johnny Dollar, insurance investigator. And look, I'm sorry I must jump, Jackie.
Insurance what?
Well, I came here to find out what happened to you and that truckload of copper tubing that never got to Belden Aviation over in Victorville.
What are you talking about? Of course it didn't. Of course not.
Well, why?
Because the shipment was called off, that's why.
What?
Well, sure. It was supposed to go out Wednesday night, right after midnight.
And it did. At least it left the warehouse.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. Because me and Betsy, we was going to take it.
Betsy?
Yeah, Betsy. You know, my truck. Only the order got canceled out.
Who says so?
The office.
Who at the office?
Well, how shall I know? All I know is I was here in my room getting ready to go over and pick up Betsy and the tubing, and the phone rung, and a girl from the office says the shipment is canceled out.
What girl? Do you know?
I don't know. Some girl says she was in the office is all. You know, one of the girls, like they always giving out the orders, you know. And she told me the boss says on account of there ain't no more trips for me this week, I can start my vacation right away instead of next week.
But you don't know which girl in the office told you that.
I told you, I don't know. I told her, tell Mr. Marlowe thanks, that's all. Why? Didn't she tell him?
Where have you been since Wednesday night?
Oh, down in San Diego, staying at my sister's and doing some yellowtail fishing while I was there. You know, out around San Clemente Island. Boy, they pulling in the big ones.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
There was one guy on our party boat that... Hey, wait a minute. What do you mean the shipment went out?
Just that. On schedule. A little after midnight
But
on
that girl
Wednesday.
told me...
And it hasn't been heard of since.
You mean it went out in my truck? In Betsy? Who took it?
According to everything we know, you.
Oh, no, sir. By midnight Wednesday, I was halfway to San Diego in my car. Look, you ask my sister down there. I got there before 1 a.m. Call her up and ask her. Go ahead, call her.
You're sure of that?
Oh, sure, I'm sure. And if some dirty guy took my Betsy out, I'll kill him. Don't nobody ride Betsy but me.
Well, what were you doing when I came in here? Packing those bags in such a hurry. What for?
My vacation. What's the matter? Don't you hear good? Hey, well, look, mister. If somebody took my truck out...
Okay, Jackie, okay, calm down and come along with me.
Where?
We're going back to Marlowe Copper Products to talk with a couple of people. Maybe do a showdown. Jackie, with a name like that, I'd pictured a slim, wiry little fellow, not this big gorilla. And from what he'd said and what he told me on the way back to the Marlowe warehouse, I was convinced he was telling the truth about his whereabouts the night of the robbery. But then, who could possibly have been a close enough double for Jackie to fool the watchman? Or had the watchman been trying to fool me and the police? And why? Or could Marlowe himself have somehow contrived to... But again, why? And if Marlowe was up to something, well, he'd have been smart enough to put, or at least keep, Jackie out of the way.
Mr. Dollar, did you find it? Jackie.
Hi, boss. Hey, what's going on around
Jackie,
here?
thank heaven, boy, you're all right.
Oh, sure I'm all right.
We thought you'd been killed or something.
Oh, me killed?
Where'd you find him, Dollar? Where's the truck?
Hey, boss, that's what I've been trying to find out. Only all this guy here does is ask me questions.
Well, the important thing is you're all right. I didn't tell you this before, Dollar, but Jackie's as much a part of this business as I am.
Come on,
you started out with me in the beginning when I didn't have a penny to my name. Worked 7 days a week, night and day, helping me build up this business.
And you've kept him just a truck driver?
What do you mean, just kept me a truck driver? That's the way I like it.
Oh.
Yeah, even the big retirement he made for me. I don't want that. I just want to keep on driving the truck, just like I am, and maybe go fishing now and then. That's what I like, and I'm happy.
Thank God you're still all right.
Hey, but what about Bessie?
Yes, Dollar, what about the truck? Any ideas, any leads?
Mr. Marlowe, I want to talk to that night watchman of yours again.
Oh, Willie?
That's right. Let's just hope he hasn't skipped town.
Skipped town?
Would you see if you can locate him and get him down here?
Well, of course. Do you think he was involved in the hijack operation?
Well, let's get him in here, if we can, and we'll see. Something had just come back to me. Something pretty damning insofar as Willie was concerned. It was the way he had answered my questions when I talked to him before. Was there anything unusual about Jackie when he came to pick up the truck? Well, not that he'd noticed, he said. Had Jackie picked up the truck alone? Well, he hadn't seen anybody with him. What had Jackie said? He hadn't heard anything. Not one really positive answer in the lot. Or to the other questions I'd asked him. Much to my surprise, Marlowe's phone call brought assurances from Willie that he'd come over to the plant right away.
And I told him I'd get somebody else to fill in for him tonight because of the sleep he's having to miss.
Yeah, well, tell me this. Do your watchmen carry a time clock?
That's right. There are punch key boxes located in a dozen or so spots all over the warehouse, and one in this office.
They register on a paper dial on the time clock,
Yeah, that's right. That way there's a record of what time he reaches every station on his nightly round.
Would you get me that record for Wednesday night, please?
Well, of course.
And while you're at it, I'd like a copy of the shipping order and the manifest for that truckload of copper tubing.
I'll have my secretary get them for you.
By the time his secretary dug the punch clock record out of the files, old Willie arrived, looking somewhat the worse from lack of sleep, but apparently willing to cooperate in any way he could. I took him out to the watchman's booth, which was just inside the warehouse gate.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dollar. This here's my own private office every night.
And this is where you were when Jackie McCanyon came to pick up his truck Wednesday night, huh?
Well, now, where else would I be?
Well, now, that answer is just as definite as the ones you gave me before, Willie, and it won't do.
Why?
I asked you if Jackie said anything that night that might have made you suspicious.
And I told you, not that I heard, no, sir.
Well, did you talk with him at all?
Well, no reason to.
There were just the two of you here in the middle of the night.
Yes, sir.
And you didn't even say hi to each other?
Well, no reason. Driver comes around to pick up a shipment, all he has to do is sign up the manifest the time he leaves. And...
You knew what time he was to be here, didn't you?
Sure. I mean, yes, sir. It was right on the shipping order.
But you didn't see him. You didn't see him pick up the shipping order or sign the manifest or drive out of here with his truck. Knowing he was coming, you left the gate open for him. Or knowing somebody was coming.
That's against the rules, mister, leaving the gate.
You weren't here when that truck went out.
I didn't say that.
No. So far you haven't said anything. You've just given a lot of evasive answers to all my questions. All right. Now, if you were here, you were partner to the hijacking operation.
No, sir.
You'd have had to be. Because Jackie McCanyon didn't pick up his truck that night, as you'd have us believe. If you were here at the gate, that is. And that's something we'll find out right now. Here.
Say, that's out of my time clock.
That's right. And it's dated the night of May 22nd and 23rd.
That's the night?
Yes. Now, where's Station 1?
Why, that's right there on the gate there. And that's the key I use to punch my time clock. Every single night, right on schedule. And I don't know what you're getting at, young fella.
All right. Just listen to me and answer my questions. Station number 1 was punched at 11:41.
If that's what it says, that's what it was.
Now, where's number 2? Well?
Look, I don't like the way...
Where is number 2?
It's the big double doors back in the warehouse on the right. But now you look
11:47. You must walk pretty slowly.
Well, of course I do. I look around. I make sure that everything's all right.
Okay. Now, where's number 5? Come on, number 5.
On the back gate, way around the other side of the warehouse.
Yeah. A good quarter of a mile from here. And according to this time clock record, that's where you were at exactly 12:04 that night. And, brother, I'd like to see you do a quarter of a mile around these buildings in less than a minute to get back here at exactly 12:05 when you claim Jackie signed out that truck. Well?
You're right, Mr. Dollar.
Yeah? Which way am I right?
I wasn't here. I left the gate open for him, like I often done when I wouldn't be right there for a night shipment.
Like you often did?
Don't you see? Nothing like this ever happened before. And when I seen his name on the manifest, I knowed that
You weren't here when the truck went out, so you don't know a thing.
I mean, I thought Jackie took it because I left the catch on the main gate so it looked like it was locked.
You ever done that before?
Well, not for Jackie. He was always too close to the boss. He and the boss.
Yeah, I know all about that.
But I have for the other boys.
Yeah. Yeah, you've left this whole place wide open for anybody who wanted to come in and take anything he could lay his hands on. And this time it was a $20,000 truck with a $10,000 cargo. Willie, you're in trouble. Plenty. I questioned him further and got nothing more than a few tears and a plea for mercy, and then I turned him over to Marlowe. Willie was his problem now. But my own was still far from solved. I wasn't any closer to the missing truck and its cargo than I'd been when I arrived. Expense account item 3, $220, lunch for Jackie McCallion and myself at a lunchroom around the corner. We were on our second cup of coffee.
Your boy, that was a good donut. Oh, sir, Mr. Dollar. And the more I think about it, the more I say that outside of them pretty girls in that boss's office, the only ones to be sure what time that shipment was to go out was Willie and Red Kingsley.
Kingsley? That's his car I used.
Yeah, that's the guy. He's in charge of all the shipping.
Well, how much do you know about him?
Well, I don't know. After all, he's kind of over me.
I thought your only real boss was Mr. Marlowe.
Well, he is. You just bet he is. And he's the best friend I ever had, too. But if I don't keep my place around the plant, keep subordinating to the guys that are foreman and stuff, what do you think would happen to the morale around the plant?
Well, tell me about Red anyway.
Well,
Dollar, Mr. Dollar.
Mr. Marlowe?
I just got a call from the sheriff's substation in Victorville.
Yes?
They've picked up some of that shipment of copper tubing. You see, we put a stamp on every piece.
Then whoever hijacked it is already getting rid of it.
Yes, but so far nobody's admitting where they got it. It's at Air Metals Company and Stress Products Incorporated, both near Victorville. You want to check on it? Use Kingsley's car again.
Right.
Hey, you want me to show you the route?
Okay, Mr. Marlowe.
Sure, Jackie, go to it.
And believe me, we went. I don't know whether the police along the route have been alerted to let us by or not, but we earned more than one speeding ticket before we hit the cutoff around Victorville. The cutoff that would take us on past Edwards Air Force Base where the plants we were looking for were located. All along the way, Jackie had carefully scrutinized every truck we passed, going in either direction.
No. Same make and model, but she ain't Betsy.
Oh, Jackie, don't you realize that truck of yours is no doubt thoroughly disguised by now?
You think a father couldn't tell his own little baby no matter how disguised it was?
Maybe, but a truck.
Yeah, now, look at that one up ahead. See the one we're pulling up on? Also, same make and model, only this one is painted green.
Want me to slow up as we pass it?
No, she ain't Betsy. Even from here, I could tell.
Say?
Well, I didn't quite... Hey, wait a minute. That's Betsy.
You sure? That paint job looks pretty old.
That's Betsy. I know by her sound. You stop and block her off.
Hey, Red. That's what he shouted. And this is Red Kingsley's car with the company name all over it.
Yeah, that's why he thought we was Red when we passed him.
Sure, and look, he's catching up on us.
Well, he sure knows we ain't Red by now. Hey, look out. He's going to pile into us. He's going to ram us.
Holy, hang on.
Come on, get with it. Come on.
Wait a minute.
That's better. Come on.
Now, look, I hate to keep slapping you on the puss this way, but come on. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. All right?
I'm okay.
Hey, your pal's up the road with that other truck. That's the sheriff's car. Up there where a couple of 1,000 miles of copper pipe spread all over the countryside.
Oh, yeah.
I edged him off the highway and he flipped over.
Well, why did you do that?
Why? Well, to hear those cops talk, you'd think I was a hero or something. The guys in the green truck rammed you off the road, didn't they?
That's right.
Well, when the cops seen that happen, they tried to force the truck off. Mister, that takes something like Clarabelle here.
Clarabelle?
Yeah. That's what I call this tractor-trailer rig of mine. It's not the first time I've given the police a hand.
Yeah? They've given a lot of people a hand, those boys who drive the big interstate trucks and trailers. They're a pretty fine bunch to have on the road. Well, I guess it's pretty obvious that Red Kingsley and Marlowe's shipping department was back at the hijacking operation. The two who were aboard the stolen truck turned state's evidence and sang plenty, and the courts will take care of them. Expense account total, including air transportation and incidentals back to Hartford, 50105. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week? Well, if you think a sudden case of complete amnesia is any fun, you're wrong. Because it happened to me. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood. It is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone, who also wrote tonight's story. Heard in our cast were Forrest Lewis, John Daner, Junius Matthews, Stacey Harris, and Jack Crucian. Musical supervision is by Amerigo Marino. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cubberly speaking. From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
It is a joy to me heart to be hearing the voice of me lover boy.
Meg McCarthy.
Faith, and how could you tell from so far away and so long ago? Now answer me that.
Oh, Meg, I'd recognize that soft, dulcet voice of yours anywhere. How are you?
Oh, Johnny boy, I've got trouble.
And where are you, by the way?
Port Hopeful is the name of the place.
Port Hopeful, huh? You just can't stay away from the sea and ships and sailing men, can you?
And whose leg would you be after trying to pull now? Port Hopeful, Nevada.
Nevada?
Right out in the middle of the desert.
Well, what are you doing there? And why do they call it a port?
Them were the very same identical things I'll be telling you when you get here. And if you take to my advice, you won't waste no time along the way. There's trouble out here. Insurance trouble.
Oh, what company?
Western Life and Trust, they calls it. The very same identical company that's insured the life of this blessed man what's laying dead at me feet.
Dead at your feet? Meg, you don't mean...
Just a minute. If you're by way of implicating that I done him in. You're just an evil-minded, suspicious young... Oh, forgive me, sweetheart boy.
Huh?
Well, you was worried about me, wasn't you?
Well, certainly, of course.
God love you, but me skirts are clean. Now, will you get moving and come out here?
Well, it kind of depends.
Oh? And just what kind of fancy double talking is that supposed to... Oh, no, you don't.
What?
Get your dirty, filthy, conniving hands off.
Meg, what's the matter?
Take them bracelets
Meg.
out of here and you...
Meg!
Well, I guess I was wrong, Johnny. I guess I am in trouble. Now.
I'll grab the first plane.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Western Life and Trust Insurance Company, San Francisco office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Alkali Mike matter. Expense account item 1, 375, telephone call to Bill Kemper at Western Life and Trust, who talked only long enough to order me onto the first plane for the coast. Item 2, 153.50, transportation on a late-evening flight to San Francisco. Item 3, the next morning, 4:25, cab from the airport to Bill Kemper's office in the Lawson building.
Ever hear of Alkali Mike Murphy, Johnny?
Yeah, sure, Bill. At least I think so. Isn't he the kind of legendary character who found so much gold somewhere out here?
Over in the Black Rock Desert, Nevada.
Yeah, a place called Port Hopeful?
That's right. The original Alkali Mike had been the skipper of a sailing ship before he got the lust for gold back in the last century.
Yeah, well, what about it?
Finally found it. Plenty of it. Out there in the desert near the little town of Winnemucca.
And?
Built himself a regular palace out of rocks from the nearby mountains, named it Port Hopeful. Settled down to spend the rest of his days enjoying his money. But then he died. Legend says it was suicide.
Yeah, well, what's that got to do with you or me or the company?
Alkali Mike Murphy, Jr., his son, who spent the last 40 years living there. But now he suddenly died. And how he died affects payoff on the insurance policy we wrote him.
Oh, how much?
$200,000, straight life.
Ah, Beneficiaries?
2 nephews, 1 niece, and an old housekeeper, all sharing equally, provided, of course, that one of them didn't help him on his way to the great beyond.
And you think maybe one of them did?
$50,000 apiece is a lot of money, Johnny.
Which one?
I'll grant you it's only a hunch. But if I were you, I'd make a pretty careful check on that housekeeper.
Meg McCarthy?
She's an old... Oh, yes, what do you know about this McCarthy woman?
Oh, plenty, Bill.
Then you think my hunch is right?
No.
What?
Because if it is, I'll handle this case for nothing.
But according to the police officer...
What's more, I'll quit the insurance business. Item 4, 1320, cab to the airport, plane fare and incidentals to Reno, Nevada. There I rented a car, that's item 5, and headed north and east on Route 40. After about 165 miles of nothing but sagebrush and cactus, I pulled into the town of Winnemucca. I dropped off my bags at the Motel Winnemucca, then headed for the local police headquarters. I was introduced to a Sergeant Otis Framley.
There's no point in driving out to Port Hopeful, Mr. Dollar. We've got the number 1 suspect right here. Picked her up last night.
Her? Meg McCarthy?
Right.
And you suspect her of what?
Murder? If she didn't poison old Alkali Mike, I'll eat my shirt.
Then you'd better decide right now if you want it baked, boiled, or fried. Where is she?
In her cell. Come on. You mean you've got some reason for thinking she didn't do it?
I know Meg McCarthy.
Yeah, but don't you see she's the only one who was anywhere near him? Besides, look at the motive.
Yeah, suppose you tell me about it.
Well, she's only been out there at Hopeful taking care of him about 6 months. Yet she gets under the skin of the old codger enough to make him turn over a big hunk of his insurance money.
And that takes care of motive, huh?
Well, doesn't it?
Let's go talk to Meg.
Now, look, she's a pretty tough customer when she wants to be, so...
Right, she's a pretty tough customer. And if you silly, stupid income-poop start...
All right, Meg, take it easy.
Oh, take it easy, is it? If you blinking idiom think you can keep a decent, self-respected lady...
I said take it easy.
And I say, ever-loving boy.
Hi, Meg, you old rascal.
Sweetheart, I knowed you'd come to save me out of this horrible place.
Yeah, well, that pretty much depends on you, on what you're able to tell me about this whole thing.
You bet I'll tell you. Only, Johnny.
What's the matter?
Sure, I'll tell you. All I know. And it'll be the honest truth, Johnny boy. But don't you see? The only evidence I can give is enough to hang me.
Meg.
Oh, Johnny, I need your help. I need it bad.
Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. And now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Alkali Mike matter.
The sergeant left Meg McCarthy and me alone there at the jail in Winnemucca, Nevada. And she told me all she knew.
Johnny had just plain got fed up with all the noisy, roistering, drunken sailors that used to come to my fancy cafe back on the East Coast. So when I heard that Alkali Mike Murphy was looking for a nice, quiet, respectable lady to be his housekeeper out here in the peaceful, quiet desert, well, I took the job.
You've been out here about 6 months.
Yes, Johnny boy. And me and Alkali, we just got along fine. I cooked good meals for him, and we played cribbage together in the evenings. And it got me a real bang out of keeping that old palace of his all neat and tidy for him.
Yeah, sure. But now, Meg, I understand he named you as a beneficiary of his big insurance policy.
I told him I didn't want it. And besides, I have plenty of money of me own from selling out me cafe back east.
Do you know the other beneficiaries?
Huh? Do I know them? Them nephews and that niece. Just hanging around waiting for him to die these last 20 years. That's all they've been doing. Except maybe Edgar.
Edgar?
Edgar Murphy, the oldest nephew, the nice one. He's had a fine job over to the bank in Lovelock.
And the others?
Margaret! Oh, she's a disgrace to me fine old name. Playing around with every Tom, Dick, and Henry she can get her hands on. Looking for the one with the most money so she can snag him and live the easy life.
Where is she?
It's for Danny. Well, he's another no-count. Spends all his time horsing around and gambling.
Where are they now?
Out to Port Hope, but where else? Each of them trying to chisel the others out of all the fine furniture and old silverware and lovely china. You know, when the estate gets settled. The sneaky, snivelly...
All right, Meg, all right. If I'm going to try to help you, there are some things I have to know.
I'll tell you everything, Johnny boy.
How did Alkali Mike die?
Poison, the doctor said it was. In something that he ate.
And who could have given it to him?
There's the trouble, darling.
Huh?
I was the only one with him. I was the only one ever touched his food.
Could it have been poisoned before it was brought into the house?
No, never. Everything I bought for him and me come from the markets right here in Winnemucca. Besides, Johnny, I always had the same things he did.
Even the day he died?
Yes. Even that same fateful morning.
Well, did the doctor say what the poison was?
Yes. Quinititani.
Quintanogen?
Yes, that was it. Sulfur or something.
Quintanogen sulfonate?
Yes, it's chances of sulfonate.
Now, that's strange. Because if I remember correctly, that's related to one of the old Indian arrow poisons.
Ah, but Johnny, there ain't been no Indians around here for years. At least the wild ones.
Look, Meg, I want to go out to that so-called palace, Fort Hopeful, but I want you with me.
Well, of course, lover. Only how can I get out of this jail?
Let me worry about that. It took the help of a local attorney that set him $500. But I managed to get Meg out of the clink, as long as Sergeant Framley stayed with us, that is. We headed out across the desert over a road that should have been traveled only by jeep. And finally, after about 60 miles of it, we came into a bare, rocky valley. And there in the middle of it sat the palace, Fort Hopeful. Only it should have been called Fort Hopeless.
Ain't it a beautiful spot, Johnny boy?
It was an atrocity, a huge, rambling jumble of native stone badly cemented together. There were almost as many doors sagging on their hinges as there were windows, as though the whole place had been put together one room at a time. Windows were set in at cockeyed angles, and most of them were dirty. 3 fairly new cars were parked out in front.
Yeah, the relatives, Dollar. They've been here ever since the old coot died, like a bunch of buzzards. Vultures.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, come on, let's go in.
Yes, and see how they've messed up our lovely palace whilst I've been languishing myself away in that hooscar.
Hey, look, Sergeant, if old Alkali was murdered.
Of course he was. How else would he get that poison?
Well, how about these relatives?
That's what I've been trying to tell these harebrains.
All right, Meg, please.
These bird-tailed idioms around here seem to think I'm the only one.
Meg, shut up.
Yes, dearie. You know I loved you when you talked to me like that. Just like my dear departed husband, God.
Yes, all right. Well, what about it, Sergeant?
Oh, you mean his own kin? No, Mr. Dollar. People out here in this part of the country have too much respect for their own kin.
Even when there's a lot of money involved?
Yes, I even go so far
What do
as
you mean, Sergeant, bringing that killer back here?
Well, it's this way, Edgar.
Yes, Sergeant, how dare you?
Now, look, it's all perfectly legal.
Legal? This woman killed our uncle.
Now, look, will you? Mr. Dollar here is an insurance investigator.
Johnny Dollar?
That's right.
Oh, I've heard about you.
Well, I haven't.
I'm Margie. And believe me, Edgar, everything will be all right with him here. Won't it, Johnny?
Will it?
I'm sure it will.
We'll see. You want to come in?
What do you mean, do we want to come in? You think we're going to stand out here on our feet all day?
Why don't you drop dead?
Oh, blatherskite.
All right, Meg, come on.
Sit down, Johnny. Here.
Incidentally, where's the other nephew? Danny?
I'm Danny Murphy Dollar, and I agree with Ed. You've got no business bringing that old witch that murdered our uncle back into this house.
Oh, that's all?
She had no business ever being here. Chiseled her way into his affection so she could cut in on whatever dough he'd leave. And then to make sure he'd leave it in a hurry, she knocked him off.
Uh-huh. Wouldn't that same reason make all three of you want to see him out of the way?
Now, just a minute.
Just take it easy, Danny.
Well, what do you mean, take it easy? He's practically accusing us of killing Alkali.
If the shoe fits, Danny boy.
Why, you dirty...
You lay one hand on Johnny Dollar and I'll tear your eyes out from limb to limb.
Okay, Meg. Meg!
Yes, darling.
Mr. Dollar's right, Danny. Margie, and you know it. You know it as well as I do. Sure, we wanted him gone. We wanted his money, that insurance. If Danny here hadn't talked him into that insurance, we wouldn't even have that to look forward to.
Well, can you blame us, Johnny, for not wanting her to share it?
But she will. Unless you can prove she killed your uncle.
What's she ever done, knowing him for only a few months, to make her deserve a share?
Margie, I suspect Meg is the only one who showed your uncle any kind of care and consideration in years.
Well, what did you expect of us?
Mr. Dollar's right. Why kid about it? Heaven knows she deserves his money as much as any of us, whether we like it or not. The fact remains, Dollar, somebody killed our uncle.
And you've all carefully made sure that Meg would be suspect.
Well, yes.
Johnny.
Look, I'm going to play a hunch that maybe he wasn't murdered at all.
But the evidence, Dollar.
What evidence, Sergeant?
He was poisoned.
Yeah, all right, we'll accept that. But I'm still going to play that hunch.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Alkali Mike matter.
Now, look here, Dollar. We know that old Alkali Mike was poisoned. If that isn't murder, what is it?
Have you ever thought of suicide, Sergeant?
Suicide?
Oh, of course not. This money-grabbing old biddy here did him in.
Now, just a minute, Margie Murphy.
Sure. Why would old Alkali ever commit suicide?
I don't know, Danny. Disappointment over you three, his only relative?
He paid no attention to us.
Or was it the other way around? You paid no attention to him.
He didn't want us around. Except maybe Edgar.
Well, offhand, I can't say that I blame him. But he did welcome the care and whatever affection Meg may have given him.
Yes, Mr. Dollar, that's true.
She was after his money, that's all.
I told him I didn't want his money. And if you don't shut up, you little squirming, conniving...
Meg!
All right. Johnny, bye.
What are you looking so thoughtful about, Edgar?
Suicide. Old Alkali's father chose to go that way.
Yeah, I know.
No one understood why. He had everything he wanted, money, even this so-called palace, this atrocity that he named Port Hopeful.
You mean he had no more reason to take his life than your uncle?
Well, that's what I mean, Sergeant.
How did his father take his life?
By drinking poison, an old Indian poison.
Quintanogen sulfonate.
Oh, no. Oh, the cup.
What?
The old cup that his father had used.
What are you talking about, Meg?
Come here, all of you. Come here in the dining room.
What for, Meg?
In here, where he keeps all the old silver and china and brickety-brack. Here. Now look here in the china closet. There, you see.
That cup or mug on the top shelf, Dollar.
Is that the one his father used to drink the poison?
Yes. But it's never been used since.
Oh, no. No, Mr. Edgar, that's where you're wrong.
What?
Oh, saints preserve us. This is terrible.
What is it, Meg? Get to the point.
Yes, Johnny, but it scares me.
Well?
Every night after his dinner, Alkali, God rest his poor soul, he'd have his whiskey from one of the clay mugs on that shelf, a different mug every night.
Yes, that's true.
Except that never would he touch that one. The lavender one.
Well, so what?
Called it the death cup. Only he joked about it. But then the night before he died, he talked about it again.
Let me see that mug.
Well, I'll get it for you.
He said it was making a superstitious old fool out of him.
Here.
He said his father drank from it and died. But that he would drink from it and live. That he'd show he weren't superstitious about it. Oh.
Good heavens, look here.
And I poured the drink for him.
What is it, Dollar?
Yeah, what is it?
The heavy deposit in the bottom of this mug. Hard as a rock.
But still the poison?
Yeah. The same deep purple color of quintanogen sulfonate.
After 40 years?
Oh, I tried to wash it out, Johnny, before and after use.
Oh, water wouldn't touch that stuff.
Oh, that's why I thought it was part of the clay.
But the alcohol in this whiskey would.
Oh.
It released enough of that poison to kill him.
Oh, if only I'd have known.
The police took a long time over this one, but they finally reached the same conclusion I had. Accidental death. So, the relatives will collect the insurance, and Meg, bless her heart. But I'm afraid that mere money will never take the place of a friend, Alkali Mike. Expense account total, including incidentals and fare back to Hartford, $525 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
From Hollywood, it's time now for Edmund O'Brien as
Johnny Dollar.
Mr. Dollar, this is Miss Ramey, Legal Department, Britannia Casualty and Life.
Oh, yeah, Miss Ramey. Thanks for calling back. I just wanted to get something straight. If a murderer is executed, does his policy pay off?
Well, that's an unusual question. As far as I know, yes, but we've never faced a situation.
Well, put on your makeup. It's liable to happen any minute.
Edmund O'Brien in another transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Britannia Casualty and Life, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of Stuart Palmer, the man who wrote himself to death. Expense account, item 1, $123.42, air and miscellaneous travel expenses from Hartford to Chicago and the Cook County Jail.
Well, you can make up your own mind about him, Dollar. He's like all those writers. If he isn't guilty, he's crazy.
How are you, Lieutenant?
Oh, hi, Markowitz. This is Mr. Dollar.
Hello, how are you?
Mr. Dollar.
He's an insurance dick. He wants to talk to Palmer. Call him out, will you?
Sure thing, Lieutenant. Hey, Palmer, your mother's here.
I'll see you on your way out, Dollar.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Lieutenant.
Here's your boy, Mr. Dollar. You'll have to talk to him through the bridge.
Stuart Palmer?
Yeah.
My name is Dollar. Britannia Casualty and Life sent me out here. I understand you're in some difficulty. If there's anything I can do to help...
You didn't come here to help me. You came to investigate my new policy.
Now, look...
I don't need your help or anybody else's. I paid my first premium. That's all you or the company need be concerned about.
They're concerned about the fact that you're being held on suspicion of murder.
That doesn't affect the policy.
Have you retained counsel?
That's none of your business.
Thanks for the cooperation. Nice to meet friends in a strange city. You can have him, Markowitz.
Thanks. Well, Dollar? Lovable, isn't he?
What have you got on him?
Oh, not much. Some wino was killed in the Clark Street pool room. Palmer was holding one of the cues. We pulled him in with about 14 others.
When are you going to release him?
We're not sure. He's been in before, you know.
Tell me, what's the matter with him?
Who knows? He's a writer. Crime stuff. Hangs around the West Madison district a lot of the time. Calls it research.
Does he still have that Kenwood address?
Wait a sec. Yeah. 5715.
Well, I hope his wife is jollier than he is.
Oh, Mr. Martin, Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were somebody else.
I am. My name is Dollar. I'm an insurance investigator.
Well, I'm sorry. We have all the insurance we can use.
I said investigator. I want to talk to you about your husband.
Oh, come in. Why do you do this to him? I know why. It's like he says. You're all after him. You don't like him because he's a genius. You don't understand him. You'll never understand
Now,
him.
wait a minute.
You can try all you want to. As Stewart says, when one human being does something better than another human being, that's when they attack him. Well, go ahead.
Look, Mrs. Palmer, I'm on your side. I'm not the police.
Oh.
Now, why don't you sit down? I'll explain the whole thing to you. Come on. That's better. Now, your husband took out a $100,000 life insurance policy last week.
Well, there's certainly nothing wrong with that.
Mrs. Palmer, please. This week, your husband is arrested on suspicion of murder.
There, now, you see? You don't know anything about him, and already you're accusing him of the most awful
I
thing.
am not accusing him of anything, Mrs. Palmer. I'm just trying to help. I talked with your husband a little while ago. He wasn't very cooperative. I'd hoped you would be.
Well, you put him in jail, and then you expect him to be cooperative.
Does he have a lawyer?
Yes, of course, Mr. Martin. That's who I thought you were.
Well, how does Mr. Martin feel about this?
But he's been very nice. Stewart isn't worried. Stewart knows that Mr. Martin can spring him any time he wants to.
I see. What does your husband write? Books?
Well, he used to write for the radio. But as he says, it's a very limited medium. So one morning he went to his agent and tore that contract up right in his face. And that very day he started to write his play. 140 pages.
Uh-huh.
With real people in every scene. He took every one of them from life.
Is the play about crime?
How did you know that?
Well, I met your husband doing a little research in jail.
Well, they put him in jail because they don't understand. As he says, they don't put a doctor to bed in a hospital because he's doing research on a dangerous disease. People don't know good from evil. That's what's wrong. They're afraid of the truth, and that's what Stewart writes. He practically lives with his subjects.
Criminals.
Yes, he studies them. Nobody can write believably about something unless they're familiar with it. That's the sacrifice he makes.
You don't get to see much of him, do you?
Well, his work is infinitely more important than I am. But as soon as his play is produced, we're going away together. Atlantic City or Bermuda. The manuscript has been in New York for 6 months now, so it shouldn't be long before he hears.
What has your husband's income been for the past 6 months?
Well, there hasn't been much. But great art is often born of poverty.
But $100,000 insurance policies aren't. Who's this man, Neil Beasley, your co-beneficiary?
Co-beneficiary? Well, if you're going to sit here and be insulting, perhaps you'd better leave.
Well, perhaps I'd better. You mentioned an agent. What's his name?
George Michaelkoff. He's in the Ingram building.
Crazy. The guy is crazy. You can't do business with a guy like that. Art, he talks. Everything's got to be art. Spends his time with bums, and he calls it art.
Hasn't he done anything for 6 months, Mr. Michaelkoff?
Not with me. Well, let's face it. Not with nobody. You know, he could have been a good writer, this boy. But he was too arty, not commercial. Then, boom, he's got to write a play. And where is it? Probably in the bottom drawer of Hallstein's desk. And it's going to stay there. Here's a copy. Take it along and read it.
Thanks. What about this research he does?
Research? Is that what he told you? I had to go down to the county jail and bail him out. Twice. That's what washed me up. Someday they're going to catch him with the goods on him. You know, maybe it started out to be research, but it ain't now.
Well, how did it start?
with a guy named Neil Beasley.
Neil Beasley?
Oh, you heard of him, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the boy. He took Palmer under his wing, and that's where he still is. I don't know. Maybe he can't get out. Beasley came up to the office with Palmer once. What a character.
Where does this Beasley hang out, do you know?
Who knows? Nasty neighborhoods.
Expense account, item 2, 80 cents, cab fare to a nasty neighborhood. After a lot of questions and bad bourbon, I came across a character who called himself Roscoe. Roscoe was the walking who's who of the district. When I mentioned the name Beasley, he swallowed his drink, wiped the back of his hand over his mouth, and leaned over the table toward me.
Beasley. Let's see. Beasley.
Come on, here. Here's something to stimulate your memory.
Well, yes, of course. Beasley, Neil Beasley. Been a friend of mine for years. Slipped my mind. Getting old. Beasley was born in Cincinnati of well-to-do parents. They say he attended Harvard, but perhaps it's only a story. You know how stories start.
Skip the history. Where can I find him?
Any number of places. If the racetrack was open, you'd find him there, but the racetrack ain't open. There is his place of residence.
Where is that?
I don't know. But he must live somewhere.
Obviously. What would you suggest?
You familiar with the Atomic Tavern up the street?
Oh, I'm a stranger in town.
Peoria?
No.
You have the face of a Peoria salesman. I don't know, something in the eyes. Yes, well, the Atomic Tavern up the street.
Thanks, Roscoe.
You never did say where you were from.
Hartford, Connecticut. If you're ever in town, look me up. 4 blocks away, squeezed between a delicatessen and a shoe parlor, I came upon the Atomic Tavern. It exploded just as I arrived.
And stay out. That's no name to call a lady. Oh, come right in, sir. Come in. Anybody with a civil tongue is welcome, sir.
Thanks.
Here, boys.
Neil Beasley around? Eh? Who wants him? His name is Johnny Dollar. I'm a friend of Stuart Palmer's.
Well, you tell him that. He's at the back table there. All right, boys, come on. What do you have? Don't bother me, that's all. And he didn't bother me anymore.
Your name, Beasley?
Mr. Beasley. Who are you?
Mr. Dollar.
What's your business, Dollar?
Insurance, investigation end. Can I sit down? I'm working for a company that holds a policy on the life of Stuart Palmer.
Insurance racket. I wonder how it started. I suppose somebody back in Rome bet Julius Caesar 10 drachmas he wouldn't live through the 15th of March and won. What do you want with me?
Well, I'm looking for somebody who'll make some sense. Maybe you're it. I understand you're Palmer's beneficiary.
That's right. He's a good boy.
Yeah, but he's not a good risk. The company insures a radio right. I come out here and learn he's a petty criminal.
What's your problem, Dollar? Why don't you cancel the policy?
Well, I will if I can. Tell me, what got him started?
Well, put yourself in his place. He spends a lot of time around here learning so he can write good stuff. He writes good stuff, so good they won't buy it, so he falls back on his education.
That's logical, but illegal.
Oh, they'll get him. They'll get me, too. It's fate. The bumps on your head, the lines in your hands, the stars, destiny. Who can stop it?
Well, that's quite a philosophy you've got. I was looking toward the front of the building. I hadn't seen him come in, but it was Stuart Palmer. He was standing at the elbow of the bar, obviously looking for his friend. When he spotted me, he started for the door.
Oh, sit down, Dollar.
That's my arm, Beasley.
Sit down and leave him alone. The cops released him. Just leave him alone.
Let go, Beasley.
Hey, you guys, watch the furniture. Lay off, will you? Look what you're doing.
By the time I got outside, he was half a block away, heading west. I knocked over several West Madison Street characters, and then it suddenly occurred to me that the only reason I was chasing him was because he was running away from me. I was 50 feet behind him when he rounded a Walgreens drugstore on the corner.
Read all about it.
For a second, I lost him. Then I saw him. He wasn't running. He was turned toward me. Palmer! Don't! The crowd! I bent over the newsboy just long enough to see that he was dead. And I started after Palmer again. There was no mistake about it. He wanted that policy, and he'd kill to keep it.
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar. But first,
The screen's sophisticated, caustic Mr. Belvedere, alias Clifton Webb, will swap quips with Bing Crosby on the Groner CBS show this Wednesday night. CBS cordially invites you to hear this great show that promises some of the best laughs of the season when it comes your way on most of these same CBS stations this Wednesday night. Mildred Bailey, the rocking chair lady of popular song, also will be on hand as guest star. So remember, be listening when Clifton Webb, Mildred Bailey, and Bing Crosby get together tomorrow night. Now, with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we return to the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar.
I lost Palmer in the next block. If daylight had held for a little longer, maybe I could have stopped the whole thing. I looked at my watch. It was 6:05. The Hartford office was closed. I headed back for a phone in the Walgreen drugstore. I got to the corner just as the police and the person of Lieutenant Carrigan pulled up.
All right, you people. Clear away. Clear away.
Dollar! What the devil are you doing here? Look at that kid, Carrigan, lying there. If you hadn't let that maniac out, the boy would still be hawking his papers.
Hey, wait a minute. Back off. What are you talking about?
Who do you think did it? Palmer.
Palmer? Are you sure?
Yeah, he was shooting at me. What'd you let him out for?
Oh, look, Dollar, there are laws. I told you earlier we didn't have much on him. He was clear.
Well, you're sure not clear on this one. Huh. Kid only had 3 papers left.
I think you better tell me what happened, Dollar.
Well, let's move away from here.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, folks, why don't you go home? Come on, move, huh?
I don't know what there is about people.
They're just glad it wasn't their kid. Well, here's the tale. I came down here to find a guy named Neil Beasley, a friend of Palmer's. Palmer showed up in the joint. When he saw me, he made a dash up the street. I took out after him, and when I got to the corner, he opened up. The kid was standing next to me. After the gunfire, I went after Palmer again. Believe me, I wish I'd caught him.
Yeah. Sergeant?
Yes, Lieutenant.
Put out a general on Stuart Palmer. All the dope's in my office.
Yes.
Why would he want to kill you?
That's a $100,000 question, Lieutenant. I'll be in the drugstore. Gotta make a phone call.
Hello?
Mr. Sandel?
Yes?
Sorry to bother you at home. I'm on the Palmer case out of your Hartford office.
Oh, yes. Mr. Dollar, isn't it?
That's right.
How are you making out?
Well, things couldn't be worse. Your only move is to cancel the policy, sir. How soon can you do that? On good grounds.
Well, I couldn't get word from the East until tomorrow afternoon at the earliest.
Well, if you can't do it tonight, just forget the whole thing.
Well, I don't understand.
Well, the police have put out a general alarm for the policyholder, dead or alive. And the odds are on the bad side.
All right, Dollar. I'll do what I can. I'll get on the phone to Hartford as soon as I hang up.
Good. I won't keep you waiting. Bye. Expense account item 4. $1.80 cab fare back to Mrs. Palmer's apartment. On the way, I suppose I should have been worried about the $100,000 worth of policy. But that didn't seem to bother me. There was the newsboy who never knew what hit him. And there was Palmer's wife. I was going to have to tell her about it. But I knew even before I got to the apartment that she'd never believe me.
I don't believe you.
Of course you don't. And you don't want to. You don't want to believe anything bad about him. You want to just go on complimenting yourself on being married to the greatest man on earth. But you're way wrong. Where is he?
I don't know. And you can't make me believe you. Why would he kill anybody?
Well, my guess is that he's doing it for you.
Oh, that's a terrible thing to say. He wouldn't do anything wrong, even for me.
He took out an insurance policy that he couldn't afford. Why do you think he did that?
I don't know. I never understood about business.
Well, he sure got you. Some people have collie dogs, and he's got you. He comes home, pats you on the head, so you'll look up at him and tell him how wonderful he is. You know why? Because nobody else will.
You just don't understand. You just don't understand at all.
How long has it been since he treated you like a woman? Bought you things like candy, flowers? When was the last time he spent an evening with you?
Why are you saying these things?
Well, I'm trying to tell you that he failed, both as a writer and as a husband. Don't you see? He's trying to make it up to you. He wants the police to kill him so you'll collect the insurance.
That's a lie.
Where is he, Marion?
Oh. Hello? Yes? No, he's here now. Why do you say that? No. Stuart, where are you? He hung up.
Well, look who's here. I wish Palmer was as easy to find as you are.
You won't find him here.
Does she know where he is?
No, he just phoned her. Wouldn't tell her.
Well, looks like a long night.
Yeah? For her, too. Mind if I ride back to the Madison district with you?
That's quite a theory, Dollar. What happens to a guy to get him in a mess like this?
I don't know. Burned too many bridges, I guess. Made a stand with his agent. Told everybody he'd show him he was right. Now he can't do it.
Oh, people. I don't know. Maybe I've been in homicide too long. I used to think a lot about things like this. You know, wonder about what started these characters, what got them to the place where I'd have to go after them. No more. Their problems aren't mine. All I worry about now is how to get them without getting anybody else hurt.
You've got a nice, simple job, Lieutenant Carrigan.
Yeah. I was thinking of that. You want him alive?
The insurance company does.
I hope it works out for you. I can't take any chances. We always try to save him for a trial. But if you're right about this one, he'll come out with a gun. Those are the kind we have to stop.
You know, this could turn into a very unpleasant situation. The lieutenant was kind enough to drop me at the Atomic Tavern. The place was empty. The sirens had frightened most of the clientele out of the precinct. All except one. He sat in the same position, at the same table, with what looked like the same glass of beer. Hello, Beasley.
Mr. Beasley. I was expecting you. Sit down.
Thanks.
How is the insurance business?
Well, sometimes we sell too much. You know where Palmer is?
Surely, always know where Palmer is. He tells me things he wouldn't tell anyone else.
You may not care, Mr. Beasley, but you just made yourself an accessory to insurance fraud.
Not unless I tell the police where he is. And then your company is out the $100,000.
And you're in 10.
I'll tell you the truth. I don't want that money. I don't want a penny of that money. Looked good at first. He wanted to give his wife a break, offered me $10,000 to help him out.
How did you help him out?
Well, take right now, for instance. I could have tipped the cops twice a minute since it happened. In fact, I was supposed to. Cops would have killed him. Wife and I would have collected our money. But I can't do it.
Isn't it a little late for Boy Scouting?
No. No, not if you could talk him out of it.
Where is he?
No cops.
No cops.
Just as soon as I finish my beer.
We walked down Halstead with the red streetcars rumbling by and the fruit trucks and the chicken wagons. I didn't notice the name of the street we turned west on, but a block and a half later, we stopped, 2 doors away from a basement barber shop.
Well, that's where he is. You're crazy to go in there.
Are you staying out here?
No, I'm going in. But I'm crazy, too.
Really?
That's why you should never listen to a guy like me. Palmer's got nothing to lose. How much do they pay you for getting killed?
Come on, if you're going, let's go.
Okay. Palmer, it's Beasley. Let me in.
Good work, Neil. Bring him in quick.
You've got a good line, Beasley.
Mr. Beasley, So good, I believe it myself.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, Palmer, it's a bad deal all the way around. What do you want to do, make history? You won't go down in any books.
What's got into you? You helped me lay out the whole thing.
Oh, yes, it looked good, but it won't work.
He's right, Palmer. It won't work. I put through a cancellation request on your policy.
But it hasn't gone through yet. If it had, you wouldn't have come in here.
It's no good, Palmer. Even if it doesn't come through, they'll fight it in court after you're dead. We've got too much against you.
How far will they get without your testimony? You aren't going to be around to give it.
Well, that's no good either. If you kill me, that'll clinch it. Oh, come on. Use your head, Palmer. You've got a chance. The newsboy is only a second-degree rap. There was no premeditation.
You're trying awful hard to save that company of yours $100,000.
Listen, there isn't a commission big enough to make me come here.
All right, then why did you come?
I don't know. Maybe because way back in my mind I thought to myself, I can get to this guy. Maybe it was your wife that made me come. I just saw her, Palmer. You know, you aren't doing her any favors by getting yourself killed. She loves you too much. You can't buy a thing like that off with $100,000.
They're coming. I didn't tip them. They must have followed us down.
It doesn't make any difference how they get here. Just so they come. Now, watch it, Dollar. Stay away from me. Nobody's going to stop me now. This is what they all wanted. Like the big literary agent with the big promises. Great play, he tells me. Yes, and the old friends. They'll cut the story out of the papers and they'll save it in the desk drawer. Poor Stu, they'll say. He could have been a good boy. Well, all right, they can save it. It's gonna pay off. That's what counts.
It won't pay off, and you know it. The only guy that wants it this way is you, because you haven't got the guts to go on.
Palmer, we know you're in there. We'll give you 30 seconds, Palmer.
I'll be right out.
Palmer, it's waste, Palmer. It's for nothing.
It's no use, Dollar. He's going to do it. Better lie down on the floor.
Stewart, are you in there?
Marion, get away from here.
I want to talk to you, Stewart. Open the door.
Oh. Come on in here. Marion, what are you doing here?
Come with the lieutenant. Don't do it, Stewart. I don't want money that way.
Wait a minute. Did they make you come in here?
No, I wanted to come. Don't do it, Stewart. Please.
Goodbye, Marion.
Stewart, don't go. Stewart, come back.
Let go of me.
Stewart!
Get down on the floor.
No!
Come on,
No!
get down. There's nothing you can do.
Stop, Palmer! Stop!
As you know, Palmer's policy was not canceled before he died. But I'm sure that with a staff of legal geniuses employed by the Britannia Company, you'll come out all right. A soft judge gave Beasley 60 days for attempted insurance fraud, and that was it. Expense account item 6, same as item 1, transportation Chicago to Hartford. Expense account total, $635.24. Oh, almost forgot. Item 7, 35 cents tip to Western Union boy. Telegram from Marion Palmer. Contents? Thought you'd like to know. Stewart's play accepted for production on Broadway. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and is written by Gil Dowd and David Ellis, with music composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Edmund O'Brien can currently be seen in the Harry M. Popkin United Artists production, DOA. Featured in tonight's cast were Lorene Tuttle, Larry Dobkin, Bill Boucher, Bill Gray, Jack Crucian, and Herb Butterfield. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle.
Time now for Edmund O'Brien as
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, how soon can you get out to High Bridge, North Dakota?
North Dakota, huh? In the winter, you guys send me to North Dakota, and the summer to Miami, Florida. All right, what's your problem?
We got two old duffers insured for a total of $80,000.
What's the matter? Somebody threatening to kill them?
No, They're threatening to kill themselves. Edmund O'Brien in another of the adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office National Fidelity Life Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of my expenditures during investigation of your policyholders, Mr. and Mrs. Arbuthnot Trump, or how the grave digger's spades came near being trumps. Expense account item 1, $113.52 railroad fare, Hartford, Connecticut to High Bridge, North Dakota. As I walked towards the station in High Bridge, the wind whipped white shawls of snow out of the night and around me like a Spanish dancer, and the raw cold had my teeth acting like castanets. Inside the shack, I found a pot-bellied stove surrounded by a pot-bellied station master. Hello?
Oh, hello. You are early customer?
Well, I'm the only one got off the train. Can I find a taxi around here?
Yep. As soon as my son gets the mail and freight tucked away, he'll take you. Only won't be any taxi cab. You drive it wherever you're going in the Pong. By the way, where are you going?
To the Trump residence. You know it?
Yep, I know it. You one of the family?
No, just business.
Oh. Well...
Well, what?
What is your business is none of mine. But, have you ever been out there before?
No, I haven't. Why, something wrong?
If it ain't, then everybody in this town has been getting a lot of unnecessary exercise. Jumping to conclusions. Well... Here comes the boy. He'll drive you over. Hickey.
Yeah?
Hickey, you got a customer for the Pong. Wants to go out to Trump place.
That Trump place? Well, all right. But, mister, I'll only take you as far as the gate. You say this your first visit, huh? That right, Mr. Dollar?
Yep, that's right. Hey, how much more we got to go?
Oh, about another mile. You cold?
Cold? Ooh, I'm freezing.
Well, pass your arms around. Keep up circulation.
Hey, does it always get this cold around here?
Nope. Only in the winter.
Oh. Say, Hickey.
Yeah?
You mind answering a few more questions?
No, many answers. You're welcome to those.
Well, what about this Trump place? Why is everybody around here scared of it? What is it, a haunted house?
Nope. As far as I know, everybody out there's alive, all right. Matter of fact, I'd feel better if some of the things out there was dead.
What do you mean?
Well, past year or so, I've been delivering some packages out there. Boxes coming express on a train. Some of them come all the way from Africa. Quite a few from India, too. All marked danger. All marked do not open. Deadly. Whatever comes in those boxes is alive.
What about the people, the Trumps themselves?
Oh, they look nice enough. Sort of on the old side. Old man Trump looks like a deacon. His wife looks like a deacon's wife. But they never seem to come to town, let alone church. Hey, that's funny.
What's so funny?
Well, look, they're on the road. Fresh auto tracks. Only one place to go out this way. Same place we're going. To the Trump house.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Those folks never have no visitors. Now, it looks like they're having a lot. Hey, maybe they're having guests for dinner.
That's right. Maybe they are having guests in for dinner.
I didn't say in for dinner. I said maybe they're having guests for dinner.
Oh, that's some funny joke, that is.
Yeah. Well, here we are, right around the next bend.
Good. I'll tell you what, Hickey. When I get ready for you to drive me back, I'll give you a call on the telephone, huh?
Well, that'll be a good trick if you can do it.
What do you mean?
They don't have no telephone.
Expense account item 2, $1.50 tongue fare. Hybrid station to the gate of the Trump estate where the driver Hickey dumped me off. I used one of the fresh tire tracks as a footpath up the long driveway through the snow. And steaming the white flakes out of my eyes with my breath, I took inventory of the house. It was big, colonial, and in good repair. All rooms lighted downstairs, one room lighted upstairs. Near the front, the automobile tracks took off around to the back of the house. I had to make my own footsteps in the drifts from there to the front door.
Quickly, don't let that cold in. Let's shut the door. Now, who are you? What do you want? What are you doing here?
I'm Johnny Dollar from the insurance company. As to what I want to see Mr. and Mrs. Trump. As to what I'm doing here, I'm just the victim of a bad choice of careers early in life.
Well, all right. Take a seat over there. I'll go check with Mr. and Mrs. Trump. But don't bother taking your coat off yet.
So this is Northern hospitality. Coming in out of the cold makes any house seem warm, but my overcoat started to steam about 10 seconds after I got inside this one. So did I. And looking around, I saw the reason. There were potted orchids growing all over the hallway, and orchids grow only in tropical warmth. Despite the invitation not to, I took off my overcoat and waited. After 10 more minutes, I felt like slipping out of my suit, a decision I didn't have time to make.
They're just finishing dinner, Mr. Dollar. They suggest you join them for coffee. Follow me.
Thanks.
Mrs. Trump, Mr. Trump, this is Mr. Dollar.
How do you do?
How are you, Mrs. Trump?
Won't you join us? There, sit right over there.
Yes, Mr. Dollar, come and sit down. Have some coffee.
Oh, thank you.
Fine. Now, that'll be all, Irwin. You may leave.
Well.
Fine. Now, sugar and cream, Mr. Dollar?
No, thank you, Mrs. Trump. This will be all right just the way it is.
Well, Mr. Dollar, I assume you brought the necessary papers?
Yes, I did. They're in my pocket all ready for your signature.
Good. We'll sign them right away.
Well, I was hoping you wouldn't sign them, at least until I've had a chance to talk to you about it.
Talk to us? What is there to talk about?
I hope you understand that, well, it isn't every day that an insurance company gets a letter from a pair of policyholders calmly stating that they are both planning to commit suicide.
Oh, no?
No.
Well, I suppose it is a bit out of the usual run of things, but there's nothing we can do about it. My goodness, we checked with our lawyer.
And he said we were perfectly within our rights.
Well, granted, you've had the policy a long, long time, and the suicide clause is no longer in effect. However, frankly, the company did send me out here in the hope that while I was arranging the change of beneficiary you requested, I could also talk you into changing your mind.
Mr. Dollar, you might just as well save your breath. Our minds are made up.
Mrs. Trump is right, Mr. Dollar. As soon as we get those change of beneficiary papers signed, we intend to dispose of ourselves.
Well,
And furthermore, young man, within the past 48 hours, we have had ourselves thoroughly examined by a board of extremely well-thought-of alienists who signed documentary proof that we are both perfectly safe. So there is nothing you can do to stop us in that direction.
But why? Why do you want to do this? Now, you don't look unhappy.
Well, we're not. We've had an extremely happy life, haven't we, Mr. Trump?
Indeed, we have, Mrs. Trump. And that's just it. You see, Mr. Dollar, we both feel that having enjoyed such a beautiful life, we owe the world something. And finally, we have evolved a method of paying our debt. In doing what we intend to do, we shall leave to the world the beginnings of a new humanity.
What's the matter with the old one?
Nothing. But it is doomed to extinction. Mr. Dollar, just think of yourself. Atom bombs, hydrogen bombs, biological warfare.
And don't forget the flying saucers, Mr. Trump.
Don't forget, indeed. Unknown objects hurtling through space, interplanetary traffic. Dear. A prelude to invasion and destruction.
Now, wait a minute. How do you know? Who told you?
Mr. Dollar, Mr. Trump knows these things. He was a professor for many years, and he reads all the time. He knows all that.
Would you mind pouring me some of that coffee, Mrs. Trump?
Not at all. There.
Thank you. Mr. Trump, granted we're all doomed for extinction, how's knocking yourself off going to help? If you just stick it out, you'll not only enjoy a bit more time alive, but you'll also be around to see the fireworks.
You will notice, Mr. Dollar, that we are changing the beneficiary in our policies from our niece, Miss Hope Selden, to the young man who let you in here tonight, Mr. Irwin Harper.
Yes, I noticed that. And I also noticed that this young man isn't even related to you. Now, what's that all about?
Well, Hope is a frivolous girl. She laughed at us when we tried to tell her what's happening. Irwin is a serious-minded young man who will use the money brought to this household by our passing to make the down payment on a new human race.
Mrs. Trump, do you happen to have any brandy around?
Later, Mr. Dollar, later. You want to know why and how. Well, come along. We'll show you.
A nightmare is bad enough when you're asleep, but I was awake, and that's when they're really frightening. They took me down through the back of the house to a winding, half-lighted stairway into the belly of the black hole. The oppressive heat grew even more oppressive. More stairs, then tunnels, all the ceilings cement and lined with lead. All the walls covered with pens and cages, and all of them filled with
snakes, Mr. Dollar. Reptiles, hundreds of them. Every species, every variety known to modern man. Look at them. Look at them and look at them well, for here is the new beginning. When life as we know it is blasted off the face of this earth, either by man himself or by his planetary cousins. When that happens, then these shall be the inheritors of this global sphere, as they were in the beginning, according to the Meston theory as set down in 1903.
Yes, Mr. Dollar, Mr. Trump knows these things, don't you see?
No, I've got to admit I don't quite see.
You will. There. Look. Every pen, every cage is equipped with an automatic feeding device. Stored above the cages is enough scientifically developed food to keep these reptiles alive for 100 years if need be. Until the Holocaust, they will be cared for by young Harper.
I could use some old Harper myself.
When the Holocaust comes, Irwin Harper shall survive as long as possible. Then the machines will take over. The reptiles will be fed, and when the recording devices up on top say that the radioactivity and magnetic forces have been dissipated, the doors of the cages leading to the earth above shall be automatically projected outdoors, and the cycle shall be complete. Then the reptiles will be set free on the face of the earth to once again evolve themselves into the new humanity.
I see. Look, Mr. Trump, I'm out here to ask you a very simple question. What's all this got to do with your committing suicide?
That is easily answered, Mr. Dollar. We need money. We need a lot of money to buy the rest of the equipment. We are willing to give up the little that is left of our lives to provide it. Irwin will remain behind to put our money to good use.
Mr. and Mrs. Trump, I don't question your motives, but you can't blame me for taking a second look at your methods. This man springing from reptile theory is flimsy enough, but that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But what you're not entitled to, and I'm quoting the Bible and the law, is the act of taking your own lives.
We've talked that over among us, and we are willing to take our chances.
All right. But at least you'll agree this is a whole lot to take in one sitting, isn't it? Now let me bring these papers back in the morning. We can talk it over once more, and then you're free to go ahead and sign.
Well, time is short, but I don't think a few hours will matter. Do you agree, Mrs. Trump?
Oh, yes, I agree.
Good. Now, if you'll be kind enough to either let me have a car or have somebody drive me into town.
Car? We have no car. We haven't had one for months, and we've borrowed them from the property. Hasn't been one past the gate for almost a year.
Oh? Including tonight?
Yes, of course, including tonight. You'll just have to stay here.
Come now. We'll take you up to your room, Mr. Dollar. What you need is a good night's sleep.
I'd have had a better night's sleep on a tightrope. My room had the same sticky, hot air that filled the rest of the house. It may be great for snakes and orchids, but I'll take my steamings at a Turkish bath. I stretched out on the bed, turned off the lamp, and closed my eyes. But for 20 straight minutes, I could still see ghost automobiles and snakes and more snakes. I kept my eyes closed as much as I could because when they were open, I could see on the wall the serpentine shadows of the tree branches outside. At least, I hoped that's what they were. Then, just as I was hoping the hardest that the realest of them all wasn't what it looked like, out of the blackness from across the room I heard... I reached down under the bed for a shoe. Not much of a weapon, but all I could think of at the moment. Then I snapped on the lamp and saw it. It had plenty of coils, all right, but it was strictly non-venomous. The steam radiator standing there, hissing my performance. But my nerve ends didn't even have a chance to lie down. They were still standing straight up when it happened. I was out of bed, across the room, and out into the hall in slightly more time than it takes to tell. The ray of light from my open door fell across a jumbled pile of beautiful young women. I bent over her and...
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of Johnny Dollar. But first... Now, with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Walking in your sleep?
Yes, you should be more careful.
Perhaps you need unmistakable is. Perhaps you need analysis. Learn what the basic coma is. What did he say, Mrs. Trump?
Sounded like he said, where is she? I'm right here, Mr. Dollar, right here taking care of you.
Oh. Somebody's been taking care of me, all right. Oh. Well, where is she, huh? She's gone. What have you done with her? Come on now, where's the...
Mr. Dollar, you better get hold of yourself. There is no girl here.
Oh, no? Oh, look. Earlier tonight, you told me there was no automobile around here, but there was. I saw the tracks in the driveway with my own eyes. I walked in one of them.
All right. Look out the window, Mrs. Trump.
No, I don't see any tracks.
Do you see any footprints?
No, nothing, just snow.
Okay. At least you know I walked up that driveway, right? And my footprints are covered up. So it's been snowing, the wind has been blowing, it's been drifting. Now I suppose you're going to tell me you didn't hear the girl scream.
Come now, Mr. Dollar. You were having a nightmare. No girl scream.
Well, if you didn't hear anything, what are you doing out here? What brought you?
Young man, we have a right to be wherever in our own home we choose to be. But I might as well tell you, I found you when I started to the kitchen to get some crackers and warm milk. I found you lying here.
Yeah, everyone's lying around here.
Young man, that does it. Once we get those papers signed, I'm afraid we shall have to ask you to leave.
That's all right with me. They're here in my room. Come on.
The way some people stand in the way of the few of us who are making a genuine effort to sustain some kind of life on
Yes, Mr. Trump, you're absolutely right.
You'll find a pen there on the table. The papers are right here in my... Hey.
Yes, Mr. Dollar?
The papers are gone.
But how can they be gone if you brought them at all?
We warn you, Mr. Dollar, we will not stand for any more of your dilly-dallying. We want those papers, and now. We are determined to sign them immediately.
Suddenly, that has become my fondest hope. Now, do us all a favor. Go back to bed and give me a chance to do a little walking in your sleep.
Who is it? Dollar, what do you mean, barging in here?
I'm looking for a girl, and I'll admit this is a very unlikely place to find her.
I'll thank you to get out of my bedroom.
You realize how suspicious you look just lying there in bed?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean that about 15 minutes ago, a woman screamed at the top of her lungs not 20 feet from here. Now, what's your story? That you didn't hear it? Or does it happen around here all the time?
You're crazy. I didn't hear any woman scream, and I don't think you did.
Okay, have it your way. I'm hearing things. But one thing I know, I'm not feeling things. See here? There's a lump on my head? That's for real.
That doesn't interest me a bit.
If I find out you put it there, it'll interest you. I'll not only put an egg on your skull, I'll make a whole omelet. In case you don't know it, you're looking at a citizen who's burned up. M-A-D. Mad. Started through the rest of the rooms in the house. I thought I knew who I was looking for. The only person I could think of who would profit by seeing those papers not signed. The present beneficiary of the Trump policy, their niece, Miss Hope Selden. All I could find in the next 6 bedrooms was a lot of old-fashioned furniture. I was just looking under the bed in the last when the wind outside took on a new note. I ran back to my own room, flung open the window, and stuck my head out into the blizzard trying to get a look in the direction of the noise. I wasn't taking any chances on that kicker finally sparking the automobile into life before I had a chance to see who was in it. I swung my feet over the sill and dropped the one story into a high drift.
Come on. Come on. Oh, darn it.
You're wasting your time. Around here, people only go for sleigh rides.
What do you want? Who are you?
You should know. You had your hand in my coat pocket earlier tonight. Of course, unfortunately, I wasn't in the coat, but something else was. And I want it back.
If I took anything out of your pocket, I had plenty of reason and plenty of right to do it.
The only one I want taking things out of my pocket is the cleaner when he's spilling out the tobacco crumbs. Now, come on, give me those papers.
No, just let me talk to you first. I want you to hear my side of things.
Look, I'm freezing. If it takes more than 5 seconds for you to say what you gotta say, no dice.
Well, then let's go back in the house. I know you'll believe me.
I saw plenty about her to interest me, but nothing to relax me. She looked like a big-time operator. A gal who would be as dangerous kissing you as killing you. As I closed the door behind us, she walked across the room and made a perfectly natural movement as though to throw open her coat. When she turned, she had a gun in her hand. It was the first time I'd ever seen a shoulder holster on a woman.
Now put your hands up, Mr. Dollar, and listen.
If you'll just unwrap your finger from around that trigger, I'll be more likely to keep my mind on what you're saying. Go ahead. I'm listening.
You've got to help me.
Help you?
Yes, help me prevent my aunt and uncle from making fools of themselves. We can't let them leave their money to Irwin Harper.
Well, it's their money. They're attempting to do what they believe is right.
That money is mine, and I'll kill anyone to get it. Irwin Harper won't stick around 5 minutes after my aunt and uncle have killed themselves. He isn't planning on taking care of their filthy snakes. I was in his room tonight after he went to sleep. In his pocket, I found a ticket for South America. His plans were all made. He caught me in there and chased me out in the hall and slugged me. When I came to, you were lying there unconscious beside me. I ran downstairs and I fixed their scheme. I threw the switch to release their stinking reptiles. By now, the snakes are all outside, freezing to death.
Don't move. You don't want to. So now you know, both of you. You know what that means? I'll have to kill you both. And I'll get away with it.
Why, you miserable hunk of putty, you conniving thing.
The Trumps want me to have the money, not you. I worked out that whole plan for them, all of it. And I'm the one they want to take care of it. Now drop that gun, Hope.
You'd better drop it, Hope. It doesn't make any difference anyway.
What do you mean it won't make any difference?
Because our friend over there isn't going to pull the trigger.
Oh, no? And why not?
Because Hope has released all those snakes. One thing she forgot. When snakes get cold, they try to get warm. And one of them just joined the party. He's right behind you, Irwin.
I don't believe you. You're bluffing.
Can't you hear him?
You can't fool me. That's a steam radiator. In this house, they're all noisy.
Irwin, if you make any kind of a move or fire that gun, he's going to strike. I'll make you a deal. Let me reach down and get that gun off the floor. I'll blast its head off. Careful. Don't move, Irwin.
No, you don't. I know what you want that gun for.
I wouldn't even turn around and look, Irwin.
Not only going to move, I'm going to get that gun out of your reach.
There was a snake.
Look out, he's on the loose.
Oh, he dropped me! The bushmaster! The worst of them all!
Well, you've got the gun. Go on.
Shoot him, Howard, shoot him!
All right, that's for him. But you're not staying behind me to get your... This is for you!
Mr. and Mrs. Arbuthnot Trump were fresh out of beneficiaries, to say nothing of snakes. The only one that had found his way back into the warmth of the house was the one I'd mistaken for a steam radiator. And without a handy method for creating a new humanity, the Trumps found themselves without a purpose. So I gave them one. At my suggestion, and at the moment, Mr. T is hard at work in his home laboratory, attempting to develop a machine with which mankind will fight the flying saucer. Mr. Trump's invention will be known as the Flying Cup and will be secretly dedicated to a waitress I once knew. Expense account, item 3, $113.52 railroad fare, High Bridge, North Dakota to Hartford, Connecticut. Expense account total, $763.90. You may say this doesn't add up, but neither does anything else about this case. Signed, yours, truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and is written by Paul Dudley and Gil Dowd with music by Leif Stevens. Edmund O'Brien can currently be seen starring in Harry M. Popkin's United Artists production, D.O.A. Featured in our cast were Peggy Weber, Harley Bear, Hugh Thomas, Dick Ryan, Jess Kirkpatrick, and Mary Shipp. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. Join us again next week when Edmund O'Brien returns in another adventure of yours truly,
Johnny Dollar.
The Echo of Jesse James, a modern story of how police tracked down a couple of train robbers, will be brought to you on CBS's Gangbusters this Saturday night. The narrator will be the Superintendent of Metropolitan Police, Washington, D.C., and another Gangbusters wonderful cast will reenact this true story for you. Join us this Saturday night on most of these same CBS stations for Gangbusters drama, The Echo of Jesse James. This is Roy Rowan speaking. This is CBS, where yours truly, Johnny Dollar, meets adventure every Friday night. The Columbia Broadcasting System. time now for Edmund O'Brien as...
Johnny Dollar.
Why in the world are you down here, Dollar? Your train leaves in 45 minutes.
Well, I'm taking a quick refresher course in ancient history. You're sending me out to find a missing archaeologist, aren't you? Well, I want to be able to talk his language in case I find him alive.
Edmund O'Brien in a transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Great Corinthian Life and Liability Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of my expenditures during my investigation of the disappearance of Bruce Lambert, the archaeologist who never should have left his tomb. Expense account item 1, $7.50, railway and taxi fare from my Hartford apartment to room 317, Brighton Arms, New York City, a hotel whose front rooms had a depressing view of an 81st Street mortuary. Miss Lambert?
Yes, please come in, Mr. Dollar.
She was tall without awkwardness, had the physique of an athlete, but still with softness, and a golden tan made her seem out of place, set against the snow heaped on the sill outside the windows.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Dollar. I realize that mine was a rather unusual request to make of an insurance company.
Not at all, Miss Lambert. The company doesn't want to lose a policyholder any more than you want to lose a brother. But there are a lot of good private detectives in New York.
I couldn't afford one. I had thought of notifying the police, but I realized that Bruce's case would be just one of many to them. They're so impersonal. And if there's a chance of any notoriety...
Miss Lambert, if you mean that for some reason you'd rather the police didn't find him, you'd better tell me about it.
Yes, of course I was going to. I don't see how it could make any difference. Please sit down.
Maybe we'd better start way back at the beginning, huh? That would be in Egypt, wouldn't it?
Yes. In the desert some 100 miles west of Thebes. My brother's an archaeologist, and he'd uncovered some ruins. It was quite an important discovery, something about the 12th dynasty. I don't know much about it.
You were with him?
Yes, I didn't spend much time at the excavation site. I stayed in the village. But the reason the police might make it difficult is that Bruce discovered some relics that he didn't declare to the authorities there.
You mean he swiped them?
Well, if you're in the habit of using extreme bluntness, I suppose you could put it that way.
All right, I'm sorry.
Please, Mr. Dollar, this is quite unpleasant for me. If Bruce had stolen all the relics, you wouldn't expect it to make any difference in how I felt about his disappearance, would you?
Well, I'm afraid I can't do anything for you. I've got to know these things if I'm going to help you.
Wait. I'm sorry. I'll tell you everything I know.
All right. What were those relics that your brother didn't declare?
Well, I'm not sure how many there were. There was some statuary, an obsidian head of some old king, and then there was a scarab. It was supposed to have been the official seal of this king.
Do you know how valuable this stuff is?
I'm afraid that it might be very valuable in some circles. That's what I was afraid of, that someone harmed Bruce or even... But there's so many things to be afraid of. He isn't strong. Maybe even his mind. He was injured quite severely in a traffic accident in Alexandria just before we left Egypt. I've got to find out what could have happened to him.
Oh, come on. Now. We can't find out this way. What does your brother look like? Is he light or dark?
Here's a snapshot.
Oh.
He's blonde. His hair is straight and was quite long when I last saw him.
And that was 4 days ago?
Yes. The day our ship docked, I was arranging for my luggage. He just disappeared.
What else? What's his build? Slight, medium, heavy?
Slight, I'd say.
What about his clothes?
Well, he was wearing a dark blue suit and a gray overcoat. The right sleeve of both would be empty, because his right arm and shoulder are in a cast.
Uh-huh. A traffic accident.
Yes, both were fractured. I wish I were able to be more help. But I've told you everything I know. He just vanished.
Did he... Did he have any enemies that you know of?
No, there's not even that. I can't let myself lose hope. But what can we do? How do you start looking for somebody with so little to go on?
Before I answered her question, we started at the beginning again. The second run-through was pretty much like the first. But disappearance from a foreign ship in the port of New York is not as easy as the telling of it. I left the troubled Marcia, checked into an 8th-floor room in the Brighton Arms, where a phone call told me the North Fleet had already sailed. No hope of information there. So I headed for the U.S. Customs Office.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Nixon?
Yes?
Well, my name is Dollar. I'm an insurance investigator. The girl outside said you could help me. I'd like to get some information on a passenger who arrived from Alexandria on the North Fleet.
North Fleet. Well, I'd have to know the day of arrival and the name of the line.
It was 4 days ago. They'd made it... that would make it the 20th. It's a British ship.
North Fleet. Well, no. What was the passenger's name?
Lambert. Bruce Lambert. Did he clear any luggage through customs?
Bruce Lambert. Yeah. Witnessed the examination of one piece of luggage, a suitcase, personal effects, one piece of statuary purchased in Alexandria, no duty.
What address did he give you?
Bruce Lambert. No street number. A hotel. The Brighton Arms.
Oh, the Brighton Arms. Well, don't count on that. Expense account item 2, $30, which, with my ID card, helped impress the cab drivers who worked the entrance to the pier where the North Fleet had docked. Checking these cabs took the whole afternoon, and midway through it, I realized I wasn't the only one interested in that particular hack stand. I wasn't sure at what moment I'd actually noticed him. He was doing a very bad job of hiding behind a Journal American on the other side of the street. All I could see was the lower half of an overcoat, the seam of some razor-sharp trousers, and some pointed shoes. But I began to feel his eyes looking at me as I went on with my questioning. That finally paid off through the mouth of driver number 782.
You know, you meet all kinds in this business. Some you forget, and some others you remember.
Yeah, well, do you remember a guy with his arm and shoulder in a cast?
And something you learn in this business. That's to read people's faces. You get to know a deadbeat before he gets a chance to deadbeat you. And you catch on if a guy is scared of something.
Well, if he was afraid of something, it's not me. He's been reported missing by his sister. I've been hired to find him. How much does $10 buy?
You know, maybe he don't want to be found.
Is that what you think?
Sure. He paid me more to climb up than you offered.
Well, I've got more.
What are you going to do with him?
I want to talk to him. I want to find out if he's all right. If he wants to stay lost, that's his business, not mine. How's 25?
Get in, my boy. It's not very far from here.
Our destination turned out to be an old red brick hotel near 39th Street between 10th and 11th Avenue. And it occurred to me that as an archaeologist, Lambert was running true to form. He'd even used some ruins to hold up in. One $5 bill brought the information from the room clerk that Lambert was out of his room, and another brought a pass key that let me in. The first thing to catch my eye when I switched on the light was a black piece of statuary shining dully on a chipped bureau, a crowned head with exaggerated features sculptured in obsidian. I posed myself this riddle. If it was so valuable, why didn't Lambert take better care of it? But before I had a chance to try for the answer, a foot nudged the door open behind me. As might be expected, it was wearing a pointed shoe and was followed into the room by a slight yellow ivory-skinned man who rather resembled the black statue.
I must thank you for leading us to the hiding place. Where is he?
Well, that depends on who he's hiding from. It looks like
it's you.
Perhaps it is that you do not know where he is.
Yeah, perhaps.
I followed your taxi after you talked with those drivers.
That was very smart. Where did you think I expected you to go? What's your interest in Lambert?
You were employed by the girl to find him. How much does she pay you?
I never talk money with a stranger.
Perhaps we will not be strangers for long. The point of importance is that you have not yet found him. Mr. Drummond will pay you $2,000 to do so.
Mr. Drummond is generous, but what makes you so sure I haven't found Lambert?
Because he is not here.
But that only means he's someplace else.
Please, I have no wish for violence.
Well, then put that thing away. In the first place, gunfire, even in this neighborhood, is going to bring the law. In the second place, that's a lady's gun. One of those handbag jobs. You know, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for carrying it.
Please, I have no wish to use it.
Then get rid of it. I hate little men who try to play bully. There was more than that behind my fist. I figured I could learn to know him better if he was quietly stretched out on the floor. I was half right. An Egyptian passport told me that his name was Ammon Hyksos. Hometown, Alexandria. There was nothing else. I could turn Hyksos over to the police on an assault charge, or I could wait until he woke up and try knocking some information out of him. But I didn't do either. I left him there in the lobby. I gave a message to the room clerk for Lambert, telling him to stay out of his room when he came back and to phone me at the Brighton Arms.
Who is it?
Dollar.
Oh, just a second. Is there any news? Did you learn anything, Mr. Dollar?
Yeah, I made some progress. I met Ammon Hyksos. You told me your brother didn't have any enemies. That little Egyptian is out looking for him with a gun. Why'd you lie to me?
I have no right to ask you to believe me now.
That's so true.
But I wish you would. Please come here and sit down.
No, thanks. You sit there and I'll stand here. I think I'll be less inclined to believe you from here.
That's not fair. I know. I wasn't fair with you either. I want to be. But there are some things I just can't tell you.
Why not?
Well, I can't tell you that either.
No, nuts. Women like you make everything tougher than it should be. You demand all, but you give nothing. You ask to be trusted, and you won't trust. You make yourselves look soft when you're as hard as steel. You've got warmth, but you only turn it on when you get something out of it.
You're wrong. I was trying to help him. Or us. I had to lie.
Look, I started this thing wanting to help you. There was something personal about it. But you wanted me to do things your way and not mine. Well, we just stopped doing that.
Please leave me alone. Just go away. Go back to Hartford and forget you were ever here.
I wish I could. But I'm working for an insurance company looking for a missing policy holder. Well, I'll be up in my room if you decide to help me find it. Yep.
Is this Mr. Dollar?
That's right.
This is Bruce Lambert. I got your message to call.
Where are you now?
Not so fast. There were 2 attempts on my life while I was on my way here from Alexandria. I'm not anxious to tell anybody where I am. How did you get into this?
Marcia called your insurance company when you took the run out. They hired me.
Good for Marcia. Is she all right?
Well, that depends on your point of view. I suppose she's being the helpful sister to you, but for me, she's done nothing but act mysterious.
I don't get it.
But she won't tell the truth about you. I hope you do better.
She told you she was my sister?
Well, sure she did. Why shouldn't she?
Well, I can't see why she'd do that.
She isn't your sister?
No, I don't understand it. She's my fiancée. I don't understand it at all. Where is she? I better talk to her.
That's a good idea. Room 317, Brighton Arms. I'll be there with her, waiting for you.
Which, in a way, was how it worked out. Except that I waited for him in the corridor outside her room. I left Marcia where I found her. She was on the bathroom floor, where she died from wounds inflicted by the proverbial blunt instrument, and where her lies had died with her.
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. But first... And now, with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Bruce Lambert?
Yes?
It's all right, I'm Dollar. Didn't take you long to get here. Where'd you phone from?
Just around the corner, a bar. Why do you ask? Where's Marcia?
Marcia's dead.
I don't believe you. I want to go in there. She isn't dead. Let me in there.
Come on, use your head, will you? There's nothing. Oh, your arm. I'm sorry. Look, you don't want to go in there. Believe me, you don't. There's nothing you can do for her.
She can't be dead. She can't be.
Come on.
Where? Why?
I want you to come up to my room with me. You've got to do two things. First, give me every reason you can think of why this should have happened. And then, before the police get here, you'd better start rehearsing a story of your own. Now, Abbott, the first hole in Marcia's story is that she wasn't in Thieves while you were working on your ruins.
That's right. I didn't even know her then. I met her in the hospital in Alexandria after my accident. I was there for 2 months, you see. She was my nurse.
But she did know about the relics. That statue and the scarab that I haven't seen.
Oh, yes. Here it is. This is the scarab. Oh, yes, she knew. We talked about my little deceit.
Well, how little is it really? You talk about 2 attempts on your life. Now we have actual murder. You'd better let me have that scarab.
Oh, yes, of course. But surely you don't think the relics are at the bottom of this? They're rare, but not valuable enough for this. Unless someone knows more about them than I do. I doubt that. I've made a thorough study of the 12th dynasty and King Amenemhet III. It's a carving of his head.
What do you know about a man named Ammon Hyksos? And another whose last name is Drummond?
Hyksos? Ammon Hyksos?
Do you know him? Does it ring any kind of a bell?
No, I'm afraid not. Drummond means nothing.
Oh, all right. Let's try the 2 attempts on your life. What about them?
Well, they happened on the nights of the 17th and the 18th. Both of them could have been accidental, except that, well, the same small man stood near me both times.
It would be too much for me to hope you could describe him, I suppose.
Well, it was dark. Well, both times I was on the promenade deck, and something heavy was thrown or pushed from the deck above. I reported the second one, and the ship's officer apologized for the carelessness.
But you thought enough of it to disappear?
Oh, well, I certainly did.
Instead of going to the police?
Yes. Oh, I suppose it was wrong, but you must understand, I was desperate.
Well, we'd better go down to the 3rd floor. I hope the police think more of your story than I do. In 20 minutes, room 317 really looked like a murder scene. The place was swarming with New York's finest, white with fingerprint powder and blinding with flash bulbs. The lieutenant to whom I made my statement looked as if he thought I was as crazy as I thought everybody else in the mess was. But then he changed his mind.
Dollar? Hey, where is that insurance stick?
Here I am.
Him in the bathroom. Oh, there you are, Dollar.
Yeah, find a suicide note or something?
What'd you say that name was? Ammon,
Hyksos.
Yeah. Well, I guess there aren't too many ways to spell that one, so this must be it. Pillbox.
Let me see that.
Prescription from Alexandria.
Dr. Ammon Hyksos.
We'll put a tracer on that phone number you took off him first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Hey, you going to take Lambert in for questioning?
I guess we'd better. Routine. He's clear as far as I can see.
Well, do something for me, will you?
Have your doctors run a test of that plaster cast of his. And call me in my room, huh?
A test for what?
Well, just look it over. It would make a handy blunt instrument if nothing else. Expense account item 3, $7.50. A few late cocktails, a rare steak, and coffee in the Brighton Arms dining room. After which I picked up an armful of extra editions so I could catch up on what I'd been doing. I self-operated my way to the 8th floor and started toward my room. I was looking forward to a hot shower, but I didn't get it. I was still looking forward, but into a familiar gun muzzle.
This is the one, Garrett.
Ah, yes, Mr. Dollar. May I introduce myself, sir? Garrett Drummond at your service. Our meeting has been postponed too long.
Well, there's a difference of opinion on that.
You will please open your door.
How can I refuse that pint-sized invitation you're still carrying?
After you, sir. And I needn't remind you that my friend here is prepared for any rash move upon your part.
Look, I'm tired. I don't have a rash move left in me.
Close the door, Ammon. I suggest that you sit there, Mr. Dollar, in that unsightly straight-back chair.
Thanks a lot.
Now, sir, I shall plunge right to the point. Where is that scoundrel, Bruce Lambert? Well?
I think I just decided that I don't know.
Please, we have no wish for violence.
You always say that with a gun in your hand. Well, let's get started. You make your pitch, I'll make my refusal, and we'll see where we go from there.
I have already made what I consider to be a generous offer for so unimportant a bit of information as merely the whereabouts of Lambert. $2,000. But if it will expedite matters, I am prepared to expand my offer by another 1,000 on the spot, sir.
The higher you bid, the greedier I get. What makes Lambert so important to you?
A problem which is entirely out of your province, my boy. How much do you know of Egyptian legends, sir?
Oh, no more than $1 worth.
Ah, pity. A fascinating subject. Well, sir, Bruce Lambert has in his possession a certain object of great importance, both culturally and economically. Certain landowners in Egypt hold it in such high esteem, sir, that as a reward for its return to them, they would throw open to exploitation untapped oil fields, the richness of which would shake the very foundations of world economy.
Are they shaky enough as it is?
My boy, think what it would mean to a civilization fast approaching the depletion of its petroleum sources. New horizons, sir, a brave new world. Lambert owes to us all relinquishment of this object so that it may serve humanity.
You're right. And it may be easier than you think.
Splendid, sir. Where is he?
Which relic is it? The black statue your playmate could have picked up for free?
It is King Amenemhet Scarab that I would discuss with Lambert. I demand to know where he is.
Why waste time on him? I've got the scarab.
I find that most difficult to believe, Mr. Dollar.
Well, I'll show it.
No. Keep your hands away from your pockets. Ammon will save you the trouble. Ammon.
Please remain still, Mr. Dollar. My wish is for peacefulness.
Sure. Right coat pocket.
He speaks truly, Garrett. Here it is.
What's the matter, Garrett? You don't have that brave new world look anymore.
I should be the first to admit, sir, that the lie has been put to the tale I created upon this useless gewgaw. But, Mr. Dollar, now that we are forced to fall back upon the truth, I remind you that it sometimes hurts. Your position has nothing...
The desk knows I'm up here.
Answered, Mr. Dollar. But be cautious. Unfortunately, I do not share Ammon's aversion to violence.
Yeah?
Dollar?
That's right.
This is Lieutenant Black. Say, was that a hunch you had about that cast of Lambert's?
Why do you ask?
Well, if it was a good one. The doctors won't let us take it off, but we cut into it. It was put on in 3 layers. The middle one was wrapped in narcotics.
Yeah?
Don't be so modest, Dollar. There must be $300,000 worth. No, sometimes it's a whole month before we get that much. Looks like the work of your friend, Dr. Ammon Hickses.
Yeah.
Oh, wake up, Dollar. I want to check Lambert's statement with yours. I'll have you in there in 10 minutes. Goodbye.
Okay.
I commend you, sir, upon your show of intelligence. Who was it?
The police. They're looking for Lambert.
Oh, and what did they give as their reason?
Narcotics.
The story of a man bound for America who cracked up in a car, and while he was unconscious and being patched, said narcotics were put in his cast by a Dr. Ammon Hickses, probably assisted by a nurse named Marcia.
But there's no proof.
Ammon, we'll waste no time on evasion. Yes, we used the boy. A courageous scheme, but for that silly goose of a girl. She was the true conspirator, and the traitor as well.
She happened to fall in love with the guy.
Ah, the romantic Atlantic crossing. An empty proposal of marriage suddenly becomes more important than actual coin of the realm. But enough of that. The police are looking for him, and, odds teeth, so am I. Where is he?
I don't know.
Ammon, call his hotel in 39th Street. No, wait, my friend. The police must be watching that. Are they, Mr. Dollar?
Well, that's where his personal things are. If I were the police, I'd be watching.
Yes, we seem to find ourselves in such a position that we must at least pretend to see eye to eye, sir. Very well. We shall wait here. The chips are down, so to speak. Ammon.
Yes, Governor.
Take the pistol. Into the bathroom with you. With the door slightly ajar, you shall have a splendid command of the arena, as it were.
Yes, Governor.
And remember, the stakes are high.
Yes, Garrett, I will remember.
And now, Mr. Dollar, it would seem that little remains but the waiting.
The waiting was more than enough. Drummond settled himself on the bed, facing the door, his pudgy hands folded over his bulging waist. I was still in the desk chair, facing him. As usual, the police were late. 20 minutes passed before we heard the knock on the door.
Your guest, Mr. Dollar. Come, we shall go to the door together. Now, keep your back to me and open it.
It's your party, Drummond. Come in, Lambert.
Not Lambert, the police.
Hammond, shoot!
Hammond, my friend, help.
Drummond's wound wasn't half as excruciating as his call for help. The doctors report that his shoulder will be in a cast, that as soon as the state of New York can gather a jury, he will stand trial on the charge of first-degree murder. The body of Ammon Hickses was taken to the morgue. As an insurance company, you are probably less interested in that than in the fate of your policyholder, Bruce Lambert. That's explained in expense account item 4, $280 hospital bill paid in advance. In view of the possibility that there may be others interested in that $300,000 cache of narcotics he has to carry around with him until his arm is okay, I thought it would be safer to keep him under wraps. Oh, by the way, while he was lying there, helpless, I sold him a policy for you covering the scarab and that carved head. Expense account total, $456.90. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and is written by Paul Dudley and Gil Dowd with music by Leith Stevens. Edmund O'Brien can currently be seen starring in Harry M. Popkin's United Artists production, DOA. Featured in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Jay Novello, Ed Begley, John Daner, and Pat McGeehan. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. Join us again next week when Edmund O'Brien returns in another adventure of
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
$54,000 is burning a little old hole in that little old jackpot of Sing It Again this week, just waiting for somebody to light up the right answer and drop the cash and prizes in his lap or her lap. Dan Seymour gives the gals the same chance he gives the fellas when he starts putting in those calls from coast to coast.
So be listening this Saturday when Singin' Again and the $54,000 Phantom Voice come your way on most of these same CBS stations. This program was transcribed in Hollywood. Roy Rowan speaking. This is CBS, where yours truly, Johnny Dollar, meets adventure every Friday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.